Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a Gears Community Series tournament hosted by DeluxeHaas. Once again, we are on Gears Ultimate Edition for the Gears UE Awakening event. I am casting alongside Jacob for the first time in quite a while. How are you doing, Jacob? It's a pleasure to be on the mic with you again.
I'm doing great, fantastic. Deluxe called me up a couple months ago, say, "Hey, I'm hosting another event," and I had to be there. You could take the guy out the gears, but you can't take the gears out the guy.
Yeah. No way, no way. Deluxe has been hosting events for a long time, of course, as part of this Gears Community Series brand, but even long before that as well, back through Gears 4, Gears UE. So, yeah, absolute pleasure to be alongside you on this broadcast today, Jacob. Of course, it is Gears Ultimate Edition. I'm not sure if it's your favorite Gears game, but I know for me and DeluxeHaas, that is for sure our favorite Gears game. We absolutely love casting over it. I love playing it. In fact, I was competing earlier alongside my friends and good teammates Nova Makes War, Birdie, and Sires. And we were actually knocked out by one of the teams we're about to see here. I don't mind admitting that because they are one amazing roster, as I'm sure we're going to see. But yeah, Jacob, thoughts on UE? Do you like it or what?
I love the game. I think it's much better than the original Gears. They fixed a lot of the different bugs, especially for kind of like the net code and playing online. I would put it up there as one of the better Gears of Wars, in my opinion, at least.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's a very fair assessment for sure. And I cannot wait to see how this first game pans out. Of course, this is the bracket going into things. We are watching this first game, Underdogs versus Unfrickwittable. I'm sure we'll be very careful, Jacob, as to try and pronounce that correctly 7 million times at the pace of execution on this game. Of course, very fast it does play. The second semi-final of tonight will be Onliners versus Original. We'll be broadcasting that as well as the grand finals today. So 3 best-of-5 series, and I cannot wait to get into it.
Yeah, I feel like, depending on how much these guys scrim, how often they play on a daily basis, this is a little bit of a marathon from what they might be used to game after game after game series. Some of them in close calls, some of them not so much. So even though there's only 2 more games before you crown yourself champion, you got to imagine and question how empty is that gas tank, how full is that gas tank, and how many maps you can keep on going.
That's the question, isn't it? That is the question indeed. And there have been quite a few teams actually, or several, I should say, practicing for this tournament today. And they've been scrimming for quite a while, actually. Not even a week, not even 2 weeks, up to a month, it seems like, for some of these teams. Fatal Strike has been streaming this game pretty much daily for at least the last 2 weeks, probably a bit more than that as well. Sadly, his team was knocked out just in that previous round. But of course, it kind of makes sense in many ways that we see these two teams in this first semi-final because they have been playing out of their minds. The COG team, Brolic, of course, has been their team has been practicing loads, Jacob, in the run-up to this one, and they have been big favorites. So I'm curious to see how they do against this Neo team here on the Locust side.
Yeah, and this first map is going to be Canals, and I've seen 2 different variations of kind of Canals play out no matter what Gears of War it is. You have your quick strategies, fight for the mid-bridge, you kind of go high side, and then if you kind of find yourself down, you see teams kind of slow things down, use the sniper, try to get some picks. So I'm interested to see, and maybe you even have an opinion, what version of that Canals we're going to see, especially now where they're in the later rounds where it means much, much more than before.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, especially with coming from Gears 5 execution, where Canals was in the rotation, we might see some of the newer players perhaps kind of stick to that Gears 5 strats. But let's see. As I'm currently on board here on the low side of things, Charismatic immediately getting the down on Brolic here on the steps, and immediately 2 kills come through for the Locust. 4 members all lined up alongside the mid. Stop for a second. I might pause in my commentary, Jacob, and just like that, the round is over. 1 kill each for the Locust side.
Yeah, very, very quick round. It does look like the Locust squad were able to kind of not only take control mid-bridge, but use their teamwork just a little bit better. You saw in the beginning that pistol started off, but once you miss a couple of those pistol shots, you're already down, you're already out of the fight, and then you switch to the shotgun and just weren't able to land the chunks. He was landing shots, but he weren't able to land the kill blows.
That's it. So quick that. From the Locust side, snipers picked up for both teams. Killer Sound answers back though with a fantastic back A on the BB So Deadly on those sandbags. A little bit of a pinch though. Charismatic actually able to get a kill off before that pinch is finalized. And a complete shock and fast here on the middle bridge will ensue. One player down. Brutes being traded out with a down now for Brolic for the 1B to finish things off. The mismantle over. Sadly will cost him, and Juxslayer will find the double. Another great round there by the Locust. A closer one, but certainly Juxslayer 4 kills already in 2 rounds. Certainly well earned.
Yeah, he needed to figure out how to slow things down right there. He landed a first good shot, tried to slide on the wall. He didn't necessarily hit a full spread on the second one, but you're up in damage, you're up in the lead. No reason to keep spamming your A button at that point. And those are the lessons you kind of learn over the course of time. And even though you said there was about a month of practice, sometimes it is hard to get back into the swing of things. And already the first down is out. Gillis momentarily trying to bait his teammates, pushes in, gets the first shot, backtracks, even the tides for his team, and even gets the advantage in their favor.
Absolutely. COG team doing a better job down the low side, but the Locusts are winning on the junction. Brolic, lovely nade on the JT money shot, and they turn around and find Charismatic as well. 1v2, Juxslayer all on his own on the middle, tries to push in, but immediately shot down. Brolic and Killer Sound working so well there on the low side. 3 kills apiece to their names. And yeah, the COG team do get 1 round back on the scoreboard. And a point to remember, folks, of course, we've last casted in Gears Esports, mainly Gears 5 execution. That was first to 6 rounds, of course, wasn't it, Jacob? We're now back to the original first to 4. So do bear that in mind as we go back and forth between these 2 teams here.
Yeah, these are quick rounds, and before you know it, you find yourself in a hole. And that's why it was very important to win that round, but already a headshot to start the game. Brolic, Boots, Killer Sound, all pushing up to try to get the advantage back on their side. Some finding success, but JT Money go ahead and takes the advantage on back, and this is going to be an important 1v1. Brutes has to push this, and he wins it as well. Now it's another 1v1 that Brutes earn. Huge shots, but Dukes already coming out from the headshot to start the round to the body there to end the round. That's an MVP style play.
Yes, wow, that was a fantastic push from Brutes to get that down, but Juxslayer, again, very quick to react, flying immediately up the low side and pushing in while the player is still damaged before he can fully reset with that cover advantage that middle bridge can provide. 3-1 now on this first map, 1 round away from the Locust side winning this first map. Low side slowing down a little bit here for both teams, it seems like, for a sec. Smokes were thrown. BB So Deadly does jump up on the middle, but he's immediately finding Brutes there, taken down. 3v4, it does remain. Juxslayer and his teammate to his left, pulling back. Juxslayer with amazing headshot though onto Louis Lurkin to bring it back to a 3v3.
Yeah, that's a great advantage to bring it back on their side, especially since you have an advantage in the rounds. And you can continue to backtrack towards their team, and this is where you got to expect things like this to happen in their round. It will slow down. You want to try to use everything that you have in your arsenal, but full control over the mid bridge. They have a 2v1 if they want to push it towards the high side, but they're letting their teammate kind of take shots and fights down low. Everybody converging together, but the torque bow is still going to be grabbed. Charismatic is going to go down, but that's not too much of a worry. They're there to quickly get the revive, and this will reset in a 3v3. But Brolic shot says, nah, not in my house. Hits the torque bow and gives him once again another advantage.
Yeah, good job, Brolic. Competitive experience shown there during these. Oh, what a shot that was onto Money Shot. Oh, amazing stuff from Brolic, and then they'll finalize that final kill on Charismatic. As I was saying there, Jacob, Brolic, the experience, competitive experience of this player goes back many, many years, many Gears titles indeed, and I think it was showing right there in front of us. And yeah, as I said earlier as well, Brolic and his team have been scrimming for a long time, as much as anyone else competing in this tournament, so it's no surprise that not only they're in the semi-finals here today, but Brolic, Killer Sound, all of these players are playing well too.
Now the Locust squad have to watch out for strategies just like this. Smoke going down. I like how the COG team, they kind of slowed it down in that last round. They were down 3-1. Chain revives are going to come out, making sure that they can get that torque bow out safely. And Toby, you know as well as I do, this shows they cannot match him high side. They're failing to match him towards mid-bridge, so their only other choice is to smoke out, slow the game down, and play it to where you're hoping the other team will make a mistake, and that's where you're going to get the picks with either the sniper or the torque bow that you just newly grabbed.
Exactly, yes. We were alluding to the style of canals that can be played at the start of this map. I think this is the first time we've had any form of passive action from either team here. And this is the classic, right? You bring the torque bow back up to water stairs, and even if numbers aren't on your side, Jacob, you do see this kind of passive play. Right now, both teams have full strength in that department. Both snipers on the loose, so you kind of are just waiting to see if your team can get the edge with a headshot or a nice cheeky torque bow stick. Speaking of the torque bow, Brolic has rotated that down low side, straight onto middle bridge. Has to be careful, of course, of that snipe looming and staring across. Just lurking now, just at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah, it's just going to be a game of rotations here. A lot of time to kind of click off the clock, and you're just rotating that sniper around. Maybe you're baiting one of your teammates to peek up, trying to get a cheeky little shot. A headshot, of course, but even damage that you could possibly follow up on. But more times than not, they're probably going to let the clock wind down to the final seconds, make a final push while one person is kind of playing that anchor to try to get the draw if the team push does not work out. Second snipers are going to get picked up here soon. I expect the same thing to happen for the COG team to get their second sniper in rotation. And then this is where the huge chess match of the snipers will begin.
That's it. That is it. Another point to remember, of course, not Execution 2.0, as we saw in Gears 5, where they are at the original execution on a classic map like Canals, and just under 2 minutes left on this current round. And so it really does come down to whether those star players can get those headshots. Speaking of it, Louis Lurkin, he's going to be that icebreaker, finding Crazematic. New snipes are up, 4v3 scenario. Remember, the COG team also have the torque bow, so a certain advantage for them now to come away with this round.
Yeah, I just saw too. Somebody called him out. Louis Costa. Louis making plays. He's just very, very calculated. Sometimes somebody has to be at the bottom of the leaderboard, and sometimes the work that you do for a team doesn't show up on the leaderboard, and that is a huge opening pick. And now when you do that fallback strategy, it turns it into an even 3v3 fight while you can still have your teammate with the sniper fall back, try to get that draw. And that's why you're seeing a lot of the map pressure being held by the COG team, because they have that huge advantage.
Speaking of pressure, there is time pressure now being applied to the COG team. 4v3 advantage, nades, torque bows, or torque bow and snipes to use. They need to try and collect this round. Looks like they will be able to with a frag grenade like that from Brolic. Immediately pulling the torque bow onto the water stairs. The Ram is running, tail between his legs underneath his bridge. Brolic going wide, simple down for him, and it should be a simple process now to find Juxlayer here at the bottom of the bridge. He will be taken down, and just like that, Jacob, for our first map of the tournament, we go to a final round, round number 7.
Yeah, all knotted up, and it seems like the slow play from, I do believe, Unfrickwittable, finally getting their name right, is seemingly working out. And that's what you have. You have a team of experienced players. They've been playing Gears of War through different Gears of Wars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, count them up, knock them down. They played them all, and they have that experience. They've seen this so many different strategies, and they're able to play at the slow pace. And you have somebody like Louis Lurkin who's not getting down on himself. It's that mental toughness to be able to bounce back when things aren't going right. The first on the middle bridge breaks out. Brolic trying to for his life. A down comes in. The trades are going to happen in terms of eliminations, but it's up to Brolic. A huge 2v2. They have to continue to fall back. They don't have enough cover here.
Oh my, and a headshot coming through as well. Still 2v2 remaining as that drops to a 2v1. Juxlayer, sniper in hand, throwing himself over to Louis Lurkin and finishes the map off in style. Another headshot to his name, almost up to double digits there at the end. So many crucial headshots coming out from that individual. A star player, perhaps the MVP of that first map. Well played indeed to him and his team as they take this first map. And boy, was it a close one.
Yeah, and it was good. It was good. Unfrickwittable did a good job of coming back. But the problem is they put themselves so far into a hole to where their opponents, the underdogs, just needed to win one more round. So it didn't matter how many times it slowed it down. All it took was that one mistake from Unfrickwittable, that fight down mid-bridge. They weren't able to turn the tides, and it kind of costed them the whole map. But I will say, now that they've warmed up, now that they've gotten ready to go, I think the rest of the series, especially some of the maps, do favor them more.
Yeah, and of course, it is a best of 5 series, right, Jacob? So they do have time to bring this back for sure. Do the team known as Underdogs here, who did, of course, just play on the COG team, and War Machine is next. We just had confirmation, and so with that, Jacob, of course, War Machine is a classic execution Gears map. I think if anyone was to name the best execution map, I think it would probably be War Machine for the overwhelming majority of pro players, of comp players, because just how it plays out. It's such a very good, well-designed tactical map. And correct me if I'm wrong as well, but I'm pretty sure Strangulate kind of designed Tomb with War Machine in mind, as
Yeah.
that does is going to pop in my mind now as I think about how War Machine plays. Yeah, and so I'm excited to see this one play out with when you consider how close these two teams were on a more passive map like Canals, taken onto the aggression that War Machine can show.
Yeah, and what I like about War Machine, and I agree with you, it probably is the best execution map in the history of the Gears of War series. And the reason why is because it's literally equal, almost right down the center. Obviously,
Mm.
right hand, left hand of advantage, like any other map has. But it also allows for quick play strategies in towards the middle. Everybody knows the 2v2 mid box style. That happens in teams as well. You could play up towards the torque bow. You can overload snipe with the weapon sliding. And then you can even choose to take it slow, sit back, have your 1v1 player up top. If you have somebody that's dominating a game, just like Juke did in that last one, maybe you have the confidence in him because as soon as he wins his 1v1 up top, he has the Troika, he has the cross towards the middle. It either forces the team to camp back or make a move while they're down a man. So I'm really liking the feel of this War Machine map, and I'm liking it between both of these teams because already we've seen one team not afraid to just take control of the map, and then we've seen another team unforgettable, not afraid to slow things down, run different strategies, and use the book to their advantage.
Totally. Speaking of unfrequentable, for anyone tuning in, this has been a pretty stacked tournament. Of course, our broadcast has only just started here at this first semi-final point, but unfrequentable, their previous game was a huge W, and perhaps when you look at these rosters, Jacob, I'm sure us casters alike, as fans would see C nukes, summons, powers and rushes on that X Goons roster, the previous win for Unfrequentable. And a roster that stacked, imagining them losing on any Gears title, regardless, of how warmed up these players are, how much they've been scrimming on Gears UE recently. That's a big shock, I think, to many, truthfully so. And for those unaware, C Nukes, that is Accel's former MVP of the Pro Circuit season year back on Gears 5. So that is a very stacked roster, Jacob.
Yeah,
and so
roster full
Brog's
of champions.
exactly, if Brog's team can literally beat them in this tournament, just in this game before, I mean, they can do anything as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and especially the way they did it. Game 5, the final round, the final strats, both teams just kind of laying it all on the line. And to me, when you look at the bracket, a lot of players that you'd expect to make it farther in the tournament due to the experience both online and in LAN events didn't necessarily make it that far. But to me, that just means that the new coming of players is around the corner, ready to slide. I know it's Gears UE, and I know we have no news of the next Gears of War out just yet, but these would be the players I'm looking at very, very early on in the next game's life cycle to see what they can actually do. Obviously, you have the Praise, you have the Kenny Bounces, you have the Rushies that are still playing as well, and Powers who kind of showed that thing throughout the final life cycle of Gears, but these are the guys I'll kind of be having my eyes on once the new Gears of War comes out and it rolls around, because we're going to be back. Gears of War never goes out.
Too true. Too true, Jacob. I suspect we'll have an announcement of a certain Gears 6 game in June, based on the rumors we've seen on social media recently. And so I cannot wait to see when Gears 6, that is, of course, definitely on its way, when that will be announced for a release date. Cannot wait. Let's see. Let's get into map number 2. Best of 5 series, of course. 1-0 up is the COG team, known as Underdogs. Let's see if Unfrequentable can bring it back.
It's kind of strats that we're talking about. It's not just the crazy mid-box fights. They're going playing smoking out wide, play for the torque bow. I didn't see any real confidence on the low side to try to go for the sniper, so this could be the big power weapon and the big advantage that's going down. And it's going to be hard for any team to take position, but Crazymatic goes down. JT Money gets taken out. Deadly's doing what he can to even ties with one, but he goes down as well. As quick as they rise, they fell even harder.
Yeah, that they did. Surprise, surprise, though. Juxlayer has the sniper in his hands once more. 1v3 clutch. Can it come through? At the snipe pocket, cross from the torque and to the pocket to his right. The team are taking it pretty damn slowly, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, the way he performed on Canals, not with just the sniper, just overall performance, just a huge MVP for his team. Smoke going out, so he knows something's up. Players are going to start to rotate around, and I'm not too worried for him just yet. See, he's ready for a move at any moment, switching to his shotgun, still has the sniper. One shot is really all it takes to bring this down to a 2v2, and then we're singing a different song and dance, talking about the clutch as possible.
Yeah, that's it. They're pushing up. Chuck trying to find the 1v on the back end. Yes, he does find it. Stopping the pinch for just a second. Has to move and reposition. Snipe out. One headshot equals a 1v1 situation. Not going to find the check that he really could have done with that. Potential 1v push to really go for it if a flank is attempted from the window. Doesn't need to. In fact, that was perfect timing, Jacob. That was very well played from Juxlayer.
But now it's
oh,
splitting up just a little too far. Juxlayer gets another headshot. The clutch is possible. Different song and dance, just like I said. And this is a player you cannot run at him individually. Oh my God, you cannot run at him. You cannot walk at him. You cannot touch his torque bow. You cannot touch his game.
What an insane headshot that was at the end as well to finish off that amazing 3v1 clutch in style. Oh my goodness me. Make way, Gears Esports for Juxlayer, this up-and-comer. He's 14 years old, Jacob. That man, that player, that teenager. Describe him however you want. That guy is an absolute monster. 3 kills to his name. And a clutch to start things off here. 1-0 for his team.
Yeah, this is where it gets scary yet again. This is like Canals all over again, where you're going down early, you have the experience, but experience isn't mattering. Prismatic goes down again. Brutes is able to take advantage. That's the up top fight that we were talking about. And now Brutes has all the choice in the world. He takes their side. The Lancers are coming down. Now they're forced to scatter like cockroaches when you turn on the light.
That's it. That comes the classic collapse of War Machine onto the remaining players. As soon as you drop a player on one side, on one lane, the domino pieces start falling. Brolic shots, rolls back, finds down on the monster that is Juxlayer. BB So Deadly try and get a 1v4 here. Full red, immediately drop down. Now the Locust do get around back on the board. Brolic shots for the final kill.
That was a big round. You have to shut down that momentum. He's only one really making moves, Juxlayer on the other side, so you have to figure out a way to shut him down. Whether he's using his teammates and his teammates are facilitating the plays that he's making, that's been 2 close rounds. One clutch that he clutched up, and then one right there he was almost able to turn the tides. Prismatic has to figure out a way to really not go down early on, but a trick shot coming down, double nades going out in towards the middle. Torpo is going to be picked up, but return is not able to connect either. 4v4 is going to play out here.
Yeah, very quick. Turbo pick up that. And it's being pulled, aimed down towards the middle, and it finds Killer Sound. A stick down just to the right as he rolls back. It will collect on that kill. 4v3 situation now. Turbo in hand. This is a really good situation with the COG team. Trying to find another stick, and he does find it. BB So Deadly. Very well played indeed. 4v2. Gets the third as well.
God. He just really is just so deadly right now. Prismatic going down. No worry. Let him fight his fight. Let him build that confidence. He went down. You're still able to win the round. Keep it going in your favor. That's a 2-1 lead. Juxlayer and Deadly are just taking over here on War Machine. And that's the thing. Even though it's a well-balanced map, we talked about it being right down the middle. The Gears of War UE, Gears of War 1, these are the type of games where one player, in this case 2, can take over a game. I said talking about shut down Juxlayer. Well, now he has a teammate that you have to shut down as well.
Oh my goodness me. Brolic shots an absolute god in that position of window here on War Machine. He's immediately been taken down by BB So Deadly with a gib over the top there. 4v3 situation. The Locust trying to respond and get the numbers back to a more even position. The push will not come through successfully though. 2 players taken down. The 4v1 remains over at the snipe. Money shot pretty much wins that handily nonetheless. 3-1 now in favor of the COG team, 1 round away from taking map number 2.
Yeah, it just seemed like a very, very easy win. And this is where I would expect either a snipe push out of the Locust team or something to slow it down. Go up top, maybe fake a 2 up top, try to get control, and then make a push down low. But if they keep doing the same thing, they're going to expect the same results.
That's it. That's it, nades for both teams in hand. A little bit of a change of strategy, it looks like, with more emphasis placed upon up top. No, rather, in fact, Killer Sound will just cover the snake area with a player from each roster up top here for a potential 1v to come through.
Yeah, and wasted nades just like that. Not really able to get them off of the window, and even when they did, they weren't able to utilize it, take that window position, and use it to their advantage. We got, I think, Crazematic towards the top. Juke Slayer doing a good job of holding down this nade side, but he gets full red. JT Money holding down the window. Juke Slayer finally goes down. That damage was going to be enough, but the revive's going to be easy. But the position, that opens headshot opportunity for Brawlic. Roots goes in, gets it down on the Crazematic, and now they have a rolling advantage that will continue until this round is over.
4v1 remaining. Juke Slayer actually did get up, but not going to be able to win his 1v in time up top there. The Locust team. A slower round from both sides, given that once again the COG team were 1 round away, just as we saw in Canals. But it does come through in the end for the Locust. Just 1 down across the map, Jacob. Is it all it took there to kind of break that balance and enable this roster to start pushing up as a team with no deaths in the end? Smoke's thrown out off the offset actually from the Locust side, and they do get the quick pick on the Torpo.
Strats that we're talking about. Maybe they should have used them just a little bit earlier, because this is where they find a lot of their success, from here and to Canals. But there's a lot of pressure you're putting on the Brawlic shots here with that torque bow. You see him quickly rotating it up top. He needs that height advantage, but as they rotate their numbers away from down low, that opens up the snipe pickup for the COG team.
And look who's got it, Jacob. Jerk Slayer.
Oh, no.
I know, I'm scared. I'm very scared, because they only need 1 more round as well, so they can take this as slow as they want, really. I mean, just let him work at this point, given how good he is with his weapon, clearly. Let's see. 1 headshot. Torbo is inside the Triker. Has to be so careful. It's not great cover, I will say, when a sniper is aiming at you.
They're giving him respect. They're giving him so much respect. All that space that is now opening up, and you're seeing not really even getting a charge onto the torque bow, because all it takes is 1 second, 1 pixel to connect. Even a body shot will allow them to move up if they're feeling confident enough to challenge a torque bow like that. But you're seeing the last of the smokes being used. They're trying to shuffle the numbers around, but they're not taking the bait.
Ooh, Brolic try to pull a torque bow down, sending it down bottom, but Juxley just with a body check that time. Next time, Brolic might not be so lucky. Let's see. You said the numbers, the players are shuffling positions, but still pretty slowed down is the movement from the Locust. Speaking of that, though, Brutes did get the pistol angle onto Juke, forcing him back down the staircase. Not under too much of a threat, though, it seems like. His team are just down bottom supporting there. Juke, sniper in hand, can still just keep making the distance, but has to be mindful of his torque bow. That might be fired at any time. The down coming through, though, on Louis Lurkin, getting caught out at the nades. Didn't have as much support, perhaps, as he wanted.
As good as you think high ground is, though, on a map like War Machine, you're giving up everything to get up there. New snipe, torque bow's already been picked up, the frags on both sides. That player is basically just out. The angles come in, Brutes goes down, torque bow connecting, trying to get kind of the kamikaze damage by torque bowing his teammates. Frags towards the back, displacing them. This is just a nightmare of a round. Everything comes crumbling down. 4v1 situation. Even though he gets it down onto 1, it's just not enough. 2-0 lead in this series, and it's a commanding lead because they're just outworking them.
Totally. They didn't even need Juxley to go off with the snipe there at the end. Instead, they just worked the map, and as you said yourself, Jacob, if you take up top, you get the arguable map control in many ways, that height advantage it provides. The Triker, even if you want to hop on that and chance that, probably not the best idea against Juxlayer. Despite that, all that map control, quote unquote, yeah, they just took the map. One player was stuck at nades in the form of Louis Lurkin, and they just kind of worked the map. And they were safe in knowing that Slayer was going to be safe, as he was pushed with sniper in hand. And it seemed like the COG team were just a little bit more cohesive in their teamwork, rotating around the map, while the Locusts were pretty much trapped up top in the end.
I can only imagine Louis Lurkin was trying to, do what his name says, lurk around, try to find an elim. Because even though we talk about the height advantage being good up top, You can't use the troika. You got a sniper in hands, and the longer you
Mm,
take, the less of an advantage it actually is because of those respawn weapons that we saw. The torque bow getting picked up. If they wanted to, they can go back, get the sniper, and just kind of use that to get one side. So I like the thought process from Louis Lurkin. Didn't really see what happened. Hopefully his team was there to at least try to follow up on it. But if he did it by himself, that's where you got to throw it out the window. And now they're down 2-0 in the series. They need 3 straight map wins. So I kind of throw it to you with what you've
mm.
been seeing so far. What do they need to do to at least win one of these next 3 maps?
I think first port of call, Jacob, is to make sure that the Slayer does not get the sniper in his hands again.
Okay. It's
It's
Mansion, so I will say that.
well, there you go. I mean, maybe that's the best map to play against Slayer right now. It's so rare you get the snipe on that map. Even in a clutch
Exactly.
situation, oftentimes you can't even get to it in time. So, uh, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a snipe picked up the whole map. But that being said, they're looking very good, that
Mhm.
team, clearly. But something I have to bring up before this match does come to a point of conclusion, Jacob, is the previous match that Underdogs played. They also played an absolute god squad, you might argue, in their previous game too. So
Yep.
they actually beat Kenny Bounce, Crushmo, Fatal Strike, and Noxious Hero. And I
Ooh,
mean, like,
okay.
that is just such a stacked roster, especially for Ultimate Edition. Crushmo competing back then, as amazing as he was. Fatal Strike, favorite. Well, no, Gears One I think is his favorite Gears title, but Yui I think is a close second. And a great coach in of himself. I mentioned earlier that he's been scrimming loads, just like some of these other teams for this event. I mean, that's a star-studded roster, Jacob. And so if Brolic, or rather if the underdogs can take down them, um, yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough
Yeah.
one to try and come back and defeat them here, even without the snipe on the map.
Yeah, they have all the momentum on their side right now, and honestly, even without the sniper, Juke Slayer is just a huge difference maker in some of these maps, and even in the head up battles. You got to notice that unfrequentable brawlic shots and brutes, they weren't necessarily winning a ton of these rounds until they started throwing strats out. Now we kind of take a look at Mansion. How many strats can you actually throw out that will really make a difference against somebody like Juke Slayer, who has been being a one-man wrecking crew? So to me, they're gonna have to start with these strats if they have them early. Don't wait until you're down into the hole to start mixing things up. Throw different looks out and figure out what works and try to stick to it if you do win these early rounds. If they don't win these early rounds, I honestly think this is gonna end in a 3-0.
Yeah, I think you could be right in that Mansion. We've spoken about the snipe not typically
Mhm.
being an action. We now have to talk about just the chaotic nature of it. There's no map really like Mansion. You might think of Checkout as chaotic, Checkout Execution,
Yeah.
doing those crazy majors on Gears 5 with XE 2.0. Mansion, I think is a step up above that. It's almost on a different level, Jacob. I'm not sure if you agree because you don't have as many strat options. But what you do, I would argue, my personal belief, at least when you look at Gears 3, there's a lot more bookcase strategies and working around the nades. But that aside, with Mansion, it is just kind of like a really big fight outside in the garden over that boom shot, over that middle area. You have
Yeah.
some nades play to work with. Two nades can work sometimes, but for the most part, it's smokes, pistols, and shotguns, and you just get in there. And a big part of that, something that we haven't mentioned yet, is weapon sliding, a unique
Hmm.
feature of Gears One and UE, and that will probably be a really good strategy for either team here on that boom shot.
Yeah. To me, I kind of agree with you in a sense. Like there's not a ton of different strategies that does go out, but it's all
Mm.
about adapting on the fly. Your teammates, your opponents, they will all make little moves here and there to try to take advantage of their opponent. I think whoever is better at adapting and whoever does it quicker in the early portion of these rounds will get the early advantage. Obviously, opponent can clutch up, but I will say that will give them a huge early advantage if they're able to adapt round to round to what they're seeing.
100%. The chaotic nature, the fast-paced action of Mansion, Nasher heavy. It could actually lean towards the momentum variable of Gears of War. It's a bit of a cliche these days. It has to be said, but it is so true in this situation between these two teams. Because one team is clearly performing super well, one team really needs to turn it around, and perhaps this mansion map could be the momentum shifter for them. Let's see as we get into this first round. The action of the boom shot will surely be the most important for the majority of these rounds.
Yeah, man, you can already see that Juke is kind of going in already early on, trying to get that elim. And that's something that's scary that we have already seen. Juke is taking the 1v1 spot, which I already don't like. Why would you put one of the better Slayers away from the fight and away from making an impact? Unless he can clutch this 1v4, then I'll eat my words happily. I'll put him on a piece of paper. I'll eat him piece by piece. But until that happens, I don't like the strat call.
Oh my god, he actually gets a down out of it as well. Gets to cover, not going to be able to collect on it. Trying to find that 1v push, not going to come through. The pistol headshot does get things finalized, courtesy of Louis lurking there. But honestly, Jacob, I think we're already eating our words, because we were talking about the fact that, well, at least I said, quote, there's likely not going to be a snipe picked up the entire map. And what happens the first round? Juke Slayer is trying to clutch up. He's gone instantly and picked up the snipe. So, yeah, scary stuff for sure. Perhaps playing the 1v spot allows him to get closer to the snipe, and that's happy for him. Happy days for now. Speaking of that, he is actually going to be flanking immediately towards the boom side. Looks like the Locusts are going to be winning this team fight already, though. 2v2, quickly leveled out. Full red is Slayer. He gets dropped. 1v2 scenario now for his teammate Money Shot to try and clutch up.
Man, it should be a pretty easy boom grab or keep an angle out for 2v1. Frag going boom shot. Even if Louis took him down himself, that's going to be a great boom shot to clear up a 2-0 rounds. And like I'm saying, man, they're just taking very, very early advantage of Juke Slayer going inside. They're turning the tides. They're getting the early downs and pushing their opponents out of the boom shot area, or pushing them out of a position to where they can easily slide that boom shot. So Juke Slayer, man, he's going inside, and even him, he's playing for the Lancer. He's not even beating his opponent towards the outside. This is a whole different look than what I expected to see here.
Totally. Down comes through, but the kills quickly follow through for the Locust team instead. Oh, Money Shot bouncing. Slayer is moving as well. Quickly, the numbers do go the other way. Blink and you'll miss it. This is exactly the mansion we are used to seeing back in the day of UE, Slayer, and Money Shot. Once again, the only players with kills on the board so far for this roster.
You just tend to lean into him time and time again, and he's doing this all from inside as well. An individual fight, and he's already switching it up from Lancer to Shotgun, getting the pre-active outside, two towards the backside of Boom. Everything's smoked out though, and this is where you have to play towards your intuition, your feeling, the confidence to push up. JT Money Shot goes down, but his superstar teammate Juke Slayer's there to get one. Deadly evens it up. Lou's trying to do what he can, but he goes down as well. And a quick and easy round once again for the underdogs.
Bringing it back up, 2-2. Slayer, 6 kills, 2 deaths to his name, and as you said, all from inside. Once again, Jacob, he flanks through inside, leaving his 1v, because that 1v against him, of course, I'm not sure exactly who it is, I'll check in just a moment, but playing a bit more passive. It's Brolix, in fact, but now this time there's no passivity whatsoever. He's going to win that 1v against Slayer. It's his turn to either flank or cross from nades. He will choose the latter. The Cogs players immediately downed, and that should be the round all but over. Yes, Deadly is the last player alive, and he is down in the middle. They're now 1 round away from putting the first one on the board. Let's see if they can do it.
Really haven't been able to kind of answer with consistency. We've seen big moments at a JT Money, Juke Slayer yet again, but we haven't seen the same Deadly that we've seen on War Machine. You know, he hasn't been able to grab the torque bow, grab that power weapon, you know, and really utilize it for the team. So, especially now that he's front spawn, I really want to see him make a difference, and he's pushing up towards the middle, so full control is going to be what's needed, but he kind of gets overthrown in an instant.
Nades being thrown on the boom shot. The players do need to move, and looks like they have done it in time. 3v2 situation remains. Slayer full health and has reset, but the boom shot clearly in the hands of the Lucas team now. Money Shot has rotated to get the snipe and has got it successfully. Perhaps a slow round coming up now, at least a round conclusion for us, Jacob, given we are 1 round away from a team winning based on the 2 maps we just seen. That could be the case, yeah.
And the 2 players from Underdogs that are going to be alive, The two players with the hot hands, and you see them swapping out the sniper, getting in the Juke Slayer's hand. He almost gets taken out with a wild boom shot. I honestly love the attempt. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and he at least tried to end it right there.
I mean, they just performed the quick maths, right? Is it worth going for it? Yes. Quick, fire the boom shot just in case we can get him before Slayer gets that in his hands. Doesn't come through. And now Slayer has a little bit more breathing room to utilize that snipe. Only one headshot will bring it to a 2v2. All eyes on that man to see if he can pull some magic out of the bag once again.
I like how confident he is playing towards the outside. Yeah, he's going up against a boom shot, but I will say with the time ticking, even a second sniper, you don't want to let them get two more free boom shots. Going up against 3 total, that would have been the case as Juke Slayer is ready to test his might. JT money shot. Trying to watch the flank, make sure no position is going to be given up easy, especially if they're able to get that cover right outside of that door. It would have been a free cross. But with time ticking, 2 minutes left on the clock, it does look like Unforgettable is going to get a second boom shot under their control.
Yes, and they know that Slayer, aka Superstar Cole, is the one with the snipe, but I don't think they know exactly where he's positioned just yet, as Brolic is taking his time inside. He is now speeding up a little bit, looking for a potential pinch. Slayer and his teammate have got the call, though, on the cams. I'm sure that they are being pinched right now by a boom shot, and they have to move fast. Slayer is waiting for Brolic to come around the corner. Not going to find that headshot that he needs there. His teammate Money Shot will be down. Slayer quickly escaping back up top. Ooh, maybe in rather boom shot being thrown his way. Not going to connect with anything there.
Able to get some damage, but not enough for the knock. And now 3 boom shots down, only 1 kill so far. Now you're giving Juke Slayer a chance to fight back. You did this on Canals. You regretted it. And now you got to make sure to play those a little bit more careful. Juke Slayer's going in, and he's going right back on out as Brolic Shots and Unforgettable win their first map in the series, but they still trail 2-1.
That's it. Nerves of steel from Brolic Shots holding his right hand there with that all-star 14-year-old up-and-comer pushing there in that 1v situation that was created in the end. Yeah, fantastic map. And again, it's Mansion, right? These things can happen. Slayer did get the sniper in his hands a number of times, but wasn't really able to put it to great work due to the nature of the map, and the boom shot stacking up there in that last round is evidence to that. But yeah, another great map, Jacob. It's been super fun and nostalgic casting already just after these first 3 maps. And I'm really glad actually that we will see another one in this particular semi-final, because these 2 star teams, they've had incredible journeys in this tournament so far. And I really want to see the potential as they go back and forth between themselves.
Yeah, I want to see Juke Slayer just continue developing these games. You can't be afraid to have the ball in these big fourth quarter moments. I wish he would have took a little bit more control in these later rounds. He was going inside. He was making a huge impact from inside, but the majority of the fight is not inside. It was kind of too late. His teammates were going down. Now that we're moving on over to Gridlock, this is where Juke Slayer can once again influence the map by a large sum. Different strategies, 3 snipe, 3 boom, play for nades. If Juke Slayer's playing with that hot hand that I know he can, I think he can come out, close the series down 3-1, and not let this go to a map 5. That's going to be the most important thing, because I'll go back and talk about experience again. And if this goes to map 5, Unforgettable, I think, has a little bit more experience and a little bit more composure to handle a map 5.
Yeah, that's kind of the balance here between the 2 teams. You've got like the raw skill up and comers versus a team that does edge them with that experience, right? And although both teams have been practicing just as much as each other in the short term, you do have to kind of give the Brolics roster, you might title it as, a leg up in the sense of composure, given just the sheer breadth of experience that they have, dating all the way back well over a decade there on that roster. But Gridlock, you said it, that is the next map. I think Ultimate Edition was a little bit more unique in many ways compared to Gears 1. Of course, Gears 1 had that active down feature of that long shot, and that was really a big driver of the 3-1 strat, 3-1 base, where 3 players would go for that snipe up top and kind of utilize that active down to really pressure that boom shot pickup. But now, when we went into Ultimate Edition, Gears Esports with the ESL Pro League and whatnot on UE, we saw a lot more boom shot strategies, didn't we? A lot more two down low, one on an arch, one on flank, a lot, even three low, four low, a lot more nade heavy strats. And I'm wondering, how does this unfrequentable roster approach this now that they've actually seen the potential of Juxlayer with that snipe? I mean, do you just go all in and making sure he doesn't get it, or do you just try and be very quick with a trick strat, like a boom, like a boom strat, to go for that and hunt them down before Juxlayer has any like room to breathe, to pull it back to the classic Hambist tower passive play? They're certainly going to be calculating what their odds are with different strategies here.
Yeah, if I'm underdogs, I play to Juke Slayer, right? Give him the snipe, give him the boom shot, but play to where he wants to play. Obviously, want to remind him to not get too snipe heavy if it's not working out. On the other side of things, though, you got to play to shut down Juke Slayer wherever he's at. Figure out his character, figure out a way to shut him down because he's been the biggest impact, even on the map that they're losing. He's the biggest impact player and force the rest of his team to step up. So if you shut down Juke Slayer, I don't know if it's going to be Deadly. I don't know if it's going to be JT Money. I don't know who on that team is going to step up, but you're going to force a scenario where they're either going to sink or they're going to swim. So if I'm unfrequentable, I focus out Juke Slayer. I figure out a way to take him out of the game early on or even neutralize him altogether and then force his teammates to step up and shoot a big three.
And that's the scary thing about Duke Slayer, Jacob. As we saw on Mansion, not only is he good with snipe, but he's a good 1v1 player as
Yeah.
well. He's good with the starting weapons, clearly good with the Nash, has great movement, good smarts as well. You know, the choice of when to go and flank, when to turn around against a player as smart and experienced as Brolic, who's played these 1Vs so many times over the years, for him to find those leg ups just using his brain, it really shows he's quite the complete player, I want to say. And so, regardless of what strats you might try and throw against that team to shut him down, it could be very hard to actually do that, to really like outwit them as a roster and outwit him in just a 1v1 situation at that. So, yeah, super curious to see how this one plays out. I must say. And to be honest as well, Jacob, I haven't been scrimming much. I have scrimmed some against some of these teams in the past week or two in this game, but I didn't expect to see a roster like the unknown, like the up and coming unknown NA roster we have here um, against Brolic shots. I pretty much expected to see Crushmo, Kenny B, Noxious here, Fatal Strike, players like these in the semifinals at this point when we come to cast it. Um, but no, you have these star players coming out of nowhere, and I think that's really exciting. I really do. Gears 5 has been out for many years now at this point, and people have been lurking in the shadows, both in Europe, NA, clearly here on our screens. Are we seeing the next generation of Gears talent, perhaps?
I think there's a great possibility as long as these guys continue to play Gears and continue to develop their talents in terms of this game because it wasn't too long ago. Gears of War UE, if you guys remember, Mutiny Rushies was on that squad going and playing UE with different players, different experts, Summons as well. He was definitely playing with Keem and Drix and players like that before he got his spot on Optic Gaming, the eventual multi-time champion. So I don't know if it's Gears UE or just maybe it's just during these down periods of Gears life cycle that shows that whoever's passionate, whoever keeps up with it is going to have some of the biggest chances to have a great career in the upcoming game. So, I mean, Juke Slayer, we're looking at him now. We're even saying that they have to shut him down in order to be successful. And I wouldn't be surprised, Gears 6, whatever the next Gears is, that we see him on the top team.
You and me both. Jacob, let's get into it. Classic gridlock on our screens. Once again, boy, does it feel good. Smoke's being thrown out immediately. I think I've just seen 2 nades, in fact, from the COG side. Yes, the nades are picked up by Brolic. It looks like the focus is the boom shot, in fact, to see if they can work it. Oh my goodness me, the double nade from Brolic. You don't see that often on Ultimate Edition. Juke Slayer is one of those casualties. Immediately, he comes in with a flank. Brolic shots with 3 kills to his name, and his map has barely got started.
He's able to get the sniper, but by then, the dust is settled. 2 different angles. Boom shot was a little bit of a dud. I don't really know what happened there. He must have returned fireworks for the footage. Those are not fireworks. Those are pop rocks. That's what that boom shot looked like.
Yeah, I was surprised by that boom
Just
shot
popped
as well.
at his feet.
Actually, that was Yeah, that was odd. That was really odd. Brolic shots. Maybe he was just like, you know what, game?
Give him a chance.
Let me get the ace. Let me get the ace. That was a good round. You know, and based on who they're playing against, I'm sure he's very happy with that first round performance. Brolic shots there. Very well done indeed. Let's see. A similar strategy for either team. In fact, no, they're going to be switching it up. 3 snipe for the COG team. They're trying to keep the other team guessing. Sniper in hand. General Ram, very weak there on the car on the flank. Headshot, it is he. Slayer taken down as he's trying to escape for a reset. 4v2 situation remaining. Boomshot not picked up just yet. And just like that, blink and you miss it. It seems like Brolic shots and his teammates have been practicing very hard on Gridlock.
Obviously, we don't have a list in, but I can only imagine there's great communication coming in from the 3rd spawn going over towards that boom shot, because that's the spawn that's going to see almost everything when players are rotating towards the middle, going towards the tower. So they not only stop them from getting nades, they stop them from advancing at boom shot, and they had nobody contesting them in the tower. That was just great defense from Unforgettable. Oh, damn.
Juke Slayer downed. Oh my goodness me, the pistols through. Killer Sound with a double down. Kills being traded out up top. 3 kills, in fact, all going way of the COG team. Did a boom shot get pulled by Money Shot? No, in fact, the COG team did get it. This is going to be very difficult indeed to try and clutch out. The classic ham, this tower location is good for clutching, but maybe not in this specific scenario. Trapped is he. Let's see. Can he get a kill? Not going to find it there on Killer Sound. He instead will get that back A as they trade shots. Only 1 kill so far for the Locust team. 3 rounds in. This has been the most one-sided map yet, Jacob.
Yeah, they're getting did up like a sit-up right now. I can't believe this is what we're seeing after the 3 maps that we've seen so far. Yeah, they lost one of them, but it was still an impressive, it was still a decently close performance here. They are just getting outmatched. They're getting shut down. They really don't have an answer for a lot of these strategies. And again, you see the marks coming out. It was the Hoffman on the other side, the rotation coming out from Brolix. They have snipe control, and now they're set up to defend the boom.
This is the test of composure we were talking about, Jacob. They're on the verge of taking it to a final map here. Pistols out. BB so deadly. Down twice in a row. The second revive, I don't think will be possible. The cleanup comes through instead. 4v3. Sniper still in the hand of Louis Lurkin. Boomshot picked up. Meanwhile, though, Money Shot finds Brolic. 3v3 situation remains. The headshot comes through for Louis Lurkin. And is that enough to finalize this map and take it to a finale? Money Shot body check there. Get angled out a little bit. Not a safe position on that L car. Question is, can he get back to the Hambers Tower? Yes, he can.
That was big. Him getting back to the Hambers Tower was huge. Because I wouldn't have even necessarily played for the boom shot guy. You know his teammate has to cross if anybody goes up on his side, especially if they keep their distance. But they were able to converge, get together. I wouldn't be surprised if this ended up in a draw. But if I'm the Locust team, man, I figure out a way. I'm trying to dig deep and get the win somehow. But weapons are on respawn. Boom shot will be coming up. New sniper will be coming up. Frags will be coming up. And yeah, you can try to defend those with the boom shot, but you're throwing a Hail Mary across the map, hoping you get either direct kill or a down that you can follow up on. And you're seeing everybody turn back, and you know that's what they're playing for. The next set of weapons to make sure they can close it out here and go to map 5.
Yeah. The famous weapon respawn that comes up on Gridlock now when the Hambers Tower is the base of operations for one side. Always that focus is that boom shot. Smokes can be thrown, a weapon slide can occur, but of course, boom shot and snipe, very threatening indeed when you go into that archway. The nades are the focus point for the COG team right now. Money Shot is looking that way with the boom shot out. Would he actually go and try and fire that though? That is the question. Boom shot, honestly, for me, Jacob, would be the priority to defend instead.
Yeah, the thing is, you can't use the boom shot for this, right? You're putting it all on a Hail Mary that you get the actual kill. Because if you just get down, you're not going to get the kill. Your revive will come in. You're not going to have the cross in time. Plus, you're risking the headshots from the sniper. So you're almost hoping this comes down to a draw, or at best a win. You can't lose this round. But now that they're going to get 2 boom shots, there's almost no way they don't get
these. There's no chance. He fires it. Oh, it's a bit short as well. Not even going to get the down. He tries very hard to peek up during the action. Juke Slayer tries to find that potential push up top. Not going to find it. Instead, the headshot comes through for Brutes. And a 3v1 remains as Louis Lurkin is revived. JT money shot. He realized he had a 1v1 situation for the time being. He needs to find it now, though. And he's stuck at the back of the truck. Back A. And that will be it for that map. We go to a final one as Brolic shots and the composure and experience of his team does enable a amazing 4-0 victory with the opposition only getting 2 kills in total, Jacob. What a performance from them.
Yeah, I feel like you couldn't have written a better script for something like this, because you go from having 2 phenomenal maps, you're up 2-0, you're still playing well on the 3rd map, you have a great performance if you're Juke Slayer, and then you come into a map like this, right? And you might have certain expectations, but you fall flat on your face like ever before. You just got utterly dominated. And I'm phrasing it this way because it's about the mental. We've talked about Unfreakwittable, their experience, their composure, their ability to bounce back. But now what do you do if you had 2 bad maps, you're forced to a game 5, and then on that bad map, you pop the donut? You pop the donut for Juke Slayer. So now you start to think, and we talk about how great he was performing when he's young. Now he's faced with the challenge and adversity to be able to bounce back when things are looking its worst so far.
Totally. Absolutely so. This is the test, right? This is
Mhm.
the test of composure now as you are up to that finale. It is single elimination, of course, folks. It is a best of 5 series. And when you go back and forth on these really nostalgic, popular maps that have lasted the test of time. You know, we've come back to Gears 1 and Ultimate Edition to Scrim over the years between the different Gears titles. We're back again here, but this time around we have fairly new players, some might argue. Of course, lots of experience uh, in many ways for the roster that we now find this brand new Duke Slayer, 14 years old for those who missed it earlier when I mentioned that. But it is really coming down to whether, you know, the new blood in the way in the way we're thinking about them can really hold their mental, right? And be able to stop this huge comeback coming from Brolic shots and the rest of his roster.
Yeah, and then now we're going to a map like Clock Tower where there's just an immense amount of teamwork that is going to be needed for a map like this. And in the beginning of the series, I would say, hey, they're looking like they're working well together. We were looking at Deadly kind of matching up along with Juke on War Machine. We saw that, just trying to remember his name, Juke Slayer had Crazematic and JT Money on different maps, actually getting high up on the leaderboard, matching him. But now he needs a full cohesive effort from everybody on the team. And then
Mm.
that 1v1 spot down low is pretty tricky. Do you stay down low? Do you rotate up top? Do you push down low? That's a lot of decisions for an individual, especially with all the communication that's going on up top. So if you don't have that teamwork, that chemistry, Clock Tower could be a messy map.
It could be. It could be. We've already seen smokes being thrown out pretty much every round played in this matchup so far. And yet, Clock Tower can absolutely be a smoke fest on this game, as we've seen just recently, of course, in Gears 5 Axie 2.0. A very different Clock Tower, though, is for those unaware who haven't seen much UE, you know, in the past when Gears Esports had that as its primary game. It's very different. You know, you think of Host Spot, you think of Runner, these classic callouts. They're based on Gears 1, the original Gears 1 map, right? When Host was a big deal and you wanted the strongest Lancer and Pistol to kind of dominate from the safest position on the wall and have that angle from down bottom. The runner position exists and is called that because you simply have to pretty much run back and forth based on the position of the enemy and based on how you're approaching the push or defense of a push. And of course, the pistol headshots are something that's quite unique as well. I've been scrimming on it plenty recently, Jacob, and a lot of players who didn't play much UE back in the day, they very quickly become familiarized with the pistol headshot that can really change things up in a big way. No, you're not going to get down by Lancer. A headshot can come through, and just like that, you're 4v3. There's no revives. So yeah, you need to make sure that you're absolutely on point with those weapons on that wall.
So I have a question, right? So we look at a team like, Brolic Shots and who
Mm.
they played in order to even win this. They played against Rushies, they played against former champions in Gears, but they have been playing against them for years. You know what I mean? This isn't the first time they've
Mm.
matched up in a tournament. On the other side, I'm not sure how deep the actual history of underdogs goes and big tournaments and big matches. So if you look at the match prior, when they took down the likes of Kenny Bounce, when they took down the likes of Crushmo, right? That was a big moment for them in their career up until this point. So my question to you is, do you think having a big win like that kind of does something to you mentally, like you've already accomplished, but even though the tournament isn't over, you feel like you've already accomplished what you came to accomplish? Do you think that's what's kind of hurting them here at the tail end, or do you think it's just overall experience, or just what are your thoughts in general?
Yeah, I think this is a very difficult position for them now because mentally, after defeating the likes of the players we've listed time and time again now throughout this first match on the broadcast today, you would expect them to be really happy, very positive, good vibes in the voice channel, right? And that can be very important for
Yeah.
younger players, right? We've mentioned Duke Slayer, for example, is just 14 years old. You know, he is a young player, a young demigod, clearly, based on his performance on our screens today thus far. And so these things I think matter a lot, especially during these difficult times. But then defeating, classic Gears esports gods, Hall of Famers, they might have a difficult time actually understanding, hey, how is that comeback occurring against us right now? We were 2-0 up. We've just performed that amazingly in the previous round against these gods that we've looked up to perhaps for a long time. Why are we struggling? What's going on? Are we sinking? We need to make sure we come away with this final map. And I'm just hoping for their sake, underdogs going into this final map, that they really do stay composed. They really do allow Duke Slayer to continue to be his confident self, right? You know, he might have a difficult time getting the snipe, but you kind of want him having that composure and
Mhm.
confidence to continue being aggressive and use that raw skill and not see kind of those individuals and the team play get a little bit more passive, a little bit more reserved, and kind of not exude the confidence we've seen thus far.
Yeah.
It really will be a telltale, I think, Jacob, these first one or two rounds to see how they're playing.
Yeah, it's gonna be these first 2 rounds are gonna be important because, if Brolic shots and his team starts to go down, I wouldn't necessarily be too worried. We've seen them go down and kinda make comebacks before. On the other hand, we really haven't seen Juke Slayer team make a comeback from being down. So if they go
Mm.
down early on in this series, that's when my doubts will start to be casted onto a team like that. But if they go up, that's when I start to see the confidence start to build and things like that. But again, there's just so many like theory crafting. I'm in my head, conspiracies, theories going on, and what might happen in a game like this. But to me, it's just overall, it just comes down to, can you handle the pressure? And even though he's a young gun, Juke Slayer, this is pressure. Like I'm not sure he's felt up until this point in his Gears of War career, and that's what we're gonna see, sink or swim type matchup.
Absolutely. Absolutely so. Now, we just saw in Gridlock kind of the strat book being pulled out by Brolic Shots. And I'm pretty sure it was actually Brolic who's probably voicing those. I think he's the IGL. Please do let us know in chat if I'm wrong about that. But based on his streams, he has been very vocal, a really fast and effortful communicator. Now, I want to see if that's kind of going to continue here going into Clock Tower. The nades on this map can be a bit of a trick strat in many ways. You can collect them very quickly, throw them up top, and catch players out as they're rotating out that snipe or pushing your back pillar. They do work. In fact, my team actually really enjoyed that strategy earlier in this same tournament, but it can be hard to pull off, and it can be very hard to execute against a roster that is as organized and high skill as the likes of say Duke Slayer, for example. Yeah, if he gets that snipe and starts rotating that out, do you really want to chance that on a nade? I'm not sure, but Brolic shots they had and the guys they had no issue going for that boom strat down bottom and leaving the snipe in some of those rounds. So anything's possible now, and I think BB So Deadly, Crazy Matt, Money Shot, Duke Slayer, they'll all be very mindful that anything could be thrown at them at this point.
Yeah, it's just, can do they have the answer? And Clock Tower is one of those maps. I feel like we talked about War Machine. Clock Tower is right there with it. In my opinion, as one of the favorites, one of the best maps. It requires a lot of teamwork, but it also allows for an individual to shine. You talked about the pistol headshots, the bravery to go for a sniper versus pushing somebody off. There's a lot of little different intricacies that Clock Tower like kind of like holds. Even if you're doing a 3-1 up top and that player rotating up top, it just requires everybody to be on the same page or as close to it as possible.
Totally. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting into the final map of this first semi-final, and I have to pinch myself, Jacob, even thinking about it. This is the first semi-final. Like, this stacked up rosters, these two who have done amazingly well to even get to this point, are here in front of us on a tiebreaker map, and it's only the first match of the day. My goodness me, we're in for a treat this evening. That is for sure. Louis Lurkin, Brutes, Brolic Shots, and Killer Sound. Could this be the 3 maps in a row for an amazing comeback against these rising stars of underdogs here on the COG team? Let us know your predictions in the chat. It's amazing to see all of you tuning in. I have a lot of European friends. I have Gears 5 players, Gears 4 players. It's really cool, this UE event, what it has done to bring us all together to see some more Gears esports action. So let's get into it for this tiebreaker map.
My challenge is check. Who do you guys think is going to win? Killer Sound immediately going out, but he's matched up on the other team. Some damage being taken. You see him getting crossed by the host spot as well. He's not able to regenerate any of his health. He's forced to try the host spot on his team. Shots continue to get fired in. I like what I'm seeing out of underdogs, but nobody's getting down. They're not able to capitalize. Everything comes crumbling. Crazymatic goes down. Deadly trying to make a play, and it's going to be a huge play if he can make it happen. Double knock, but he goes down himself. Revives on the other side, but the only kill that's been picked up so far has been from Forgettable until this moment where they continue to trade off 1 for 1, with Product Shots being left by himself.
The down comes through. Crazymatic with the revive. Brolic desperately needs that down from the Lancer. Not going to come through. Full red. He gets Crazymatic, but Duke Slayer with a final pistol shots to ensure it is officially a 2v1 at the end there and not a reset for a 1v. Duke Slayer, the last man alive. 3 kills to his name already as he defeats Brolic Shots. Also 3 kills in that first round. Amazing job from those 2 players. 1-0 so far. Is this the final map? Unforgettable. Their time to stop this comeback.
Another one of those rounds. We switched on over to the other side. Crazymatic already just getting knocked again. That's not necessarily the best side, but the rebound is quickly up. Crazymatic dropped yet again. He can't go down a fourth time because he's just going to get taken out.
Focus, laser-like pistols there from Unforgettable. Another down comes through. And that will be an easy collect for Killer Sound. He is pretty much full red, 4 point there, but he'll just walk on round to collect onto Money Shot. Duke Slayer, the last player alive. Killer Sound, another kill to his name. A round complete just as fast with no players lost. I mean, that round in particular, Jacob, is just a demonstration as to how deadly the mid wall is on this game. You don't have those smoke pushes, whether that be for the push on to Runner with the shotguns out, or the quick picks of the snipe. It's all about the crossing on UE/Gears 1 Clock Tower. Let's see if the COG team can play it a little bit differently here.
Especially since there is a good side, there is a bad side. Right now, Crazymatic in the good side, but it doesn't matter. He gets pistol headshot, 2 more players go down. Everyone's by himself, but he meets the same fate. A quick and easy round for Unforgettable.
A ruthless map, isn't it? Clock Tower. Insane. Crazymatic. So much damage points to his name. He's got 0 kills, but he's right at the top there of the scoreboard. 2 downs, 2 revives. Excellent job so far in terms of the crossing from both sides. But right now, I feel like Brolic Shots and Louis Lurkin, Killer Sound in particular, they have the leg up. Smokes right across that runner position, so you can't see the angle of that snipe. The push comes through for the Locust side. Another kill comes both sides way, in fact. 3v3, we go trading back and forth. So many downs, but it will be, after the dust settles, underdogs that take that round 2 apiece now.
That's just kind of not necessarily what I expected to see, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily surprised. We knew Duke Slayer had it in him. I challenged his teammates to really step it up, and you're seeing JT Money and the rest of the boys really step up to the plate, and they're ready to knock it out of the park. But this is the swing round. This is the round that matters just as important as closing it out, because once you go up 3-2, it's a whole different feeling.
Strategy-wise, it's 4 up top for both teams again. Smoke's been thrown out. Louis Lurkin going for the angle on the mid pillar. On the lesser side, you might argue, he rolls back, and he's in the middle of the open up top area of Clock Tower. Immediately headshotted is he. 3v3, one player down. The push-up comes through. Money Shot and Duke Slayer say no, though, as it comes down to a 3v1 for Brolic Shot, stuck in the Boltok. See if he can clutch up.
Yeah, they really have decisions. Do I want to take it slow? Do I want to play it fast? It does look like they just want to use their numbers, and simple as that. No that advantage needed. Brolic trying to move up, but it's just not going to be enough. Crazematic shuts him down, and that 3-2 advantage is going to go to the underdogs.
And now they're at match point. 4 kills to Money Shot's name. Duke Slayer has 6. They're playing excellently once again. Those 2 star players for the COG roster are turning up. They are composed. But now, are their opposition going to be the same here in this last potential round? Is the strapback going to be thrown at them? Let's wait and see. I think it's more of the same, in fact, Jacob. 4 players up top for both sides. Pistols being fired across. Could a headshot open things up here?
2 towards the back pillar. Nobody really pushing up towards down low. JT's just looking to watch his teammates back, but it's Deadly who goes down first. You see everybody from the Locust team begin to move up. They're trying to capitalize on it. No downs being traded off just yet, as we're back to square. Everybody resetting, but this time without any smokes.
Full red. Louis Lurkin is going to be dropped once again. The COG team pushing up. The down is going to come through again. BB So Deadly trying to close with the Nasher. Gets it down, but not the kill. The revive chains still do come through. 3v2. The kills do come through on the mid wall. A 2v2 situation as the dust settles. Perhaps for a moment as Brutes has the angle mid wall. Kim pushes through the snipe alley though. 1v1 situation for Money Shot versus Killer Sound. Can Money Shot do it and finalize this matchup? A high pressure situation. Killer Sound looking for the weapon slide of the snipe. Doesn't find it on that attempt. With just under 3 minutes to go, Jacob, plenty of time for either team to take this round yet.
This is where it's kind of like, do you risk the snipe pickup? Do you maybe even try to bait it to get him to peek, get some damage? Killer Sounds does have the advantage, though, especially on the other side, since he has the sandbag, a full game of re-around with Rosie if he wants. And so I'm not sure Killer Sound, or I should say JT Money Shot, is going to be the one to make a move in this round. He might try and stay back, wait for the last seconds, and maybe try to go for a Hail Mary, if anything.
That's it. Clearly, both teams have amazing pistols on their side. It makes a push across in the open a little bit more threatening on this game than a player might expect. Killer Sound with the more ideal position, of course, with access to that snipe. Money Shot even dare moves. He has to be mindful that a weapon slide could occur in response at a moment's notice. I'm curious, Killer Sound, do you try and go for this 1v at some point and risk that to take it to a final round, or do you just play it safe? Right? I do wonder what they're considering right now in the team comms on either side.
My own opinion is I haven't seen Killer Sound performed out of this world like Juke has, so I kind of let this draw out, play another team game, and put it into the practice that we've dealt with over the last month. You know, don't leave it down to a selfish 1v1. Kind of just let the team spawn back up, have another round, and go from there.
I think I'm with you on that, Jacob. Yeah. 1 minute left. Neither player really looking to attempt too much yet. So even if Killer Sound pushes through and rolls to the left here towards that jail, he'll give up the snipe alley and the cover advantage and the access to the snipe, so he can't do that himself. And likewise, it simply extends to Money Shot as well if he was to move out on that side. So 30 seconds to go. Both players really are locked onto this alley. No smokes in hand for either player. This should go to a stalemate bar a miracle performed by either.
This is kind of what I expected to see. If it wasn't going to be someone from the underdogs pushing up, it wasn't going to be Killer Sound. much advantage. JT Money Shot just running away. We're going down to another team round, but I will say that means good side on this round has been nullified, so somebody's gonna have an extra round with an advantage, and I do believe it might be underdog. So if they could really take advantage of that aspect, they could close it out here 4-2 and advance to the next round, which is the grand finals.
You're right, they do get the better side. That much stronger cover on the mid pillar for that angle onto mid wall, or a quick pick on the snipe. Killer Sound right to the edge of the runner position next to his teammate. 2 players back jail for the COG team currently. They're looking for the nade strat, in fact. Duke Slayer is the one to pick that up, and a down on Louis Lurkin is actually going to ensure a push does not come through. In fact, the kills start coming before nades are even thrown. 3v3 with Killer Sound down. All it needs is a nade to ensure this round will be cleared up. Louis Lurkin will be down. Brolic Shot's the last one remaining. I think this is all she wrote, Jacob.
Yeah, that's it. That's over.
That's it.
Can't fight back. That's going to be a 3-2 series closeout. The underdogs once again rise to the occasion, taking down experienced players and advancing to the grand finals.
GG's indeed. Congratulations to underdogs. Duke Slayer finishing off with 9 kills there in the end. We thought it might have been Brolic Shots and the guys on his roster that were going to go for the nade strat or the more of a trick strat approach towards the end there, but no, it was the COG team that did so, and on their stronger side as well. So well done to them. They answered the concerns of the casters, if you will, and that was would they hold the composure with his potential comeback being thrusted upon them? They answered with a resounding yes. Well played to those new guns, and I can't wait to see them in the grand final later, Jacob.
No, I can't wait to see. They're going to have to really kind of go back and reassess what just happened. 3-2, too close of a game. You need to really figure out how you're going to minimize the mistakes and how you're going to capitalize on the advantages while you have them.
Totally. Absolutely well said. And, GG's have to go out to Brolic Shots as well, in the most respectful way possible, that's for sure, because they played amazingly, Jacob. That was some stellar gameplay. They've been practicing very, very hard, as mentioned, for weeks at this point, and put so much passion into the game. And boy, have they deserved this position up to the semi-final point. And boy, did they get some strong competition in this one against underdogs. They played excellently, but in the end, it was just a 2-round differential, wasn't it, that separated them from their opponents. With that said, folks, hope you enjoyed that first match of the broadcast. We have 2 remaining, the second semi-final and then the grand final following. Please do, if you're enjoying the broadcast, hit the follow button on the Twitch stream. I'm sure there'll be many, many tournaments coming in the future, just like this one. And also tweet out the broadcast. Let people know that we've got Gears Esports here on this classic Gears Ultimate Edition game, as clearly we have some extremely good competition on offer for us tonight. A quick break now until that second semi-final. Please don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to the Gears UE Awakening tournament hosted by the Gears Community Series. Of course, courtesy of the amazing DeluxeHaas. He's sitting on production today, while me and PR try and match his awesome production quality with our casting. Jacob, it's been a really fun broadcast so far. And yeah, what an entertaining first match rather, to get things started with that first semi-final. Hopefully, another one to come that could possibly match how close that was, as that was an
Yeah.
awesome series that went the full distance, didn't it?
Yeah, no, it was definitely an exciting match, especially my first one in quite a while being able to cast. I've watched, a few of the tournaments that's been on in the Gears community from other deluxe tournaments and other community events that have went on. And it's great to see that a lot of our new names are taking up some of our OGs. And with practice, without practice, you can throw the excuses out the window because you got to give credit where credit's deserved. So in this next matchup, I'm looking at Tilligent, Raiden, Exurgence, Wingos, players who I've seen perform before, players who have won money, who have been in tournaments, in LAN, online, going up against a team that I might not necessarily be familiar with, and I'm hoping that you might have some familiar to let me know who these guys are on onliners.
Yeah, one thing I can confirm for you straight off the rep is, once again, there's been a lot of practice for these tournaments, and this onliners squad here on the COG team that will be on stream in just a second, folks. We got Justin, Joey Slane, Resonate, and Carnage. Carnage, they have been scrimming loads
Ooh.
in preparation for this tournament. I've consistently been seeing them being typing in scrims, daily scrims. Anyone need one for 7, for 11? Because they've just been practicing so hard for this up and coming tournament. And I don't want to say they're new guns necessarily, in the same way perhaps you refer to the 14-year-old demigod that is Duke Slayer that we had in the previous semi-final, but it kind of feels that way when you have the veterancy on the opposing roster of
Yeah.
Raiden and Jay Wingos, for example. Like, these names go back so far, and it's so cool to see new players and old school players at that really clashing once again here on a classic game, Gears Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, so even though again, you question the practice, you kind of throw that excuse out the window because you know what you sign up for at the end of the day. You know
Hmm.
when you signed up for it at the end of the day. But I am looking at Wingos and Raiden specifically because they do have chemistry of years past. So I'll be looking at them too to kind of be huge X factors, variables for the original squad.
Totally, totally. Brolix was the one we referred to when we mentioned experience in a sentence in the previous matchup, and he played amazingly, really a pivotal role for his team. The question is, can the experience of Raiden J. Wingers kind of perform in a similar manner? We start off here on Canals. Once more, the snipers, I'm sure, will play a pivotal role on this game. The snipers, of course, I'm sure, as Jacob is familiar with as anyone here playing and watching this game, they are so effective, especially in the right hands. Justin with first blood here of this second semi-final, looking for the second there on that Beacon Grenadier Elite. Won't connect, but that one will. 4v1 situation presents itself already for that name we mentioned already. Jay Wingos with a snipe with a 1v4.
Anybody can do it. It is going to be him. One more dangerous keepers in the game, but opting not to use it. Tries to go in for a two-piece, ends up with nothing. And that's a strategy, honestly, that is a little bit different than what we've seen earlier. Before, we were seeing it kind of a defensive strategy, just slow things down. This was kind of a bait. They went for the strategy right away in terms of the torque bow because they knew their sniper was going to watch that middle bridge. As soon as they picked up the nades, there went one headshot, and Joey Slayin was baiting out the second headshot as Tilligent did get taken down. So S. Justin already 2 headshots in that first round, changing the tides.
Totally. Joey Slane straight on the middle bridge, immediately dropped though by Raiden. The first blood is shown and presented for the second round. Carnage, he's down. A back A comes through onto his teammate. Resonates.
Oh.
And yeah, another down comes through on Junction. Nothing going to come of that though. Carnage will be cleaned up in the end. The Locust team looking to respond in kind very quickly indeed. Justin, the last man this time. The sniper for the COG team. 3 kills to his name, 2 headshots in that first round, of course. See if he can find any more.
Yeah, the caster me just wants to see them push him. Push him. It's one guy. It's one snipe. Just get it over with. But at the same time, they're playing it slow. Probably playing for the next set of nades, grab the smoke, cloud out his judgment. That one's going to connect. Justin just seemingly accurate in this round. Another body shot there, opportunity. Missed. That's going to allow them to push up. Frags are going to get grabbed from across the map. Justin's landing some shots, but not a ton of damage. And you see what they're waiting for. The first of 2 frags.
You're right. Justin checked by the snipe. On the hunt are the Locust team. Tries to go for that headshot. Doesn't connect. Full red. He will surely go down. Yes, he does. There'll be no escape through the high side for him this round. Intelligent with 3 kills to his name. Raiden with 1. As it is 1-1 the round count now between the 2 rosters. Once again, a reminder for any viewers just tuning in who haven't seen much classic Execution Gears Esports. It is first to 4 on UE and the rest of the classic Gears titles, unlike say Gears 5, which is of course 6 rounds and played on Execution 2.0. Snipers picked up for both teams. Nades picked up by the Locust this time. A little bit quicker are they on the middle bridge. Alternative strategy being utilized by Joey Slane in particular. Torpo in his hand, resonates, gets naded back. 3v3 it currently stands at. Shotgun is fired Joey Slane's way as well. He's trying to collect on that as Intelligent, but he will escape through. There comes the pinch though from the teammate. Carnage will get the kill. A down trade, but 1v3 remaining for Wingos. Is he going to be able to reset? No, he's not. Just like that. Despite strong middle bridge control early on from the Locust team, Jacob, the COG team do bring it back with some great pinches from high side.
Yeah, I'm going to have to see a little bit more coming out from Wingos. Justin, we've seen him get headshots. We've seen him play a role in this round without the sniper. Wingos, on the other hand, really hasn't been able to connect with much. Whether his teammates giving him enough time or not is a whole different question. We have seen Raiden act quick towards the middle bridge to try to turn the tides, but sometimes you need to put that trust in your sniper to make those players. With Intelligent and Raiden pushing up to the middle bridge, Joey Slane quickly gets that first blood for the team. So once again, quick reaction coming out of onliners to earn the tides. And possibly another down coming up with Extortion going down.
Yeah, but sadly, the down will not come through. 4v2 situation. Jay Wingos with snipe in hand. Gets the check. It's the trapezius of Dom, not the head that he so desperately needs in this situation. Intelligent, his teammate, will be dropped, and Wingos will shortly follow thereafter. 3-1. Now for Canals of, well, Canals being the first map. But Justin striking first blood with the snipes. His team doesn't seem to need it though, Jacob. Honestly, they do change the strategies time and time again. Their shotguns have been on point and have the edge currently over their opposition.
Yeah, Justin with another headshot. Resonates is kind of having a smooth sailing road, not really having to do much towards the high side. Another strategy to grab the torque bow. This time it does look like it might be defended. And a team snipe coming out. Justin is just a little bit too accurate, even if it's own teammates. That's not going to stop Joey Slane from able to turn the tides, getting an elimination on Team Original to bring it back to a 3v3 and get the torque bow with a huge advantage of weaponry going on over to the team of onliners.
That is Justin. Guess perhaps it's just desserts. Wingos finds a headshot on him. 2v3. Carnage does pick up the snipe that was dropped. Joey Slane does have a torque bow, so there is certainly potential here for this map to be closed out by the COG, but the numbers disadvantage is not ideal, not at all. Map control currently in the hands of the Locust here as well. Jay Wingos has rotated the snipe up to the middle bridge and has the nades as well. Gives him the angle onto water stairs. The Torpo knows he's moved across there. Let's see. One headshot will absolutely change this current stalemate that we see here.
It's going to be the first big advantage for Team Wingos. Team Original. Let's see how they can put together. But you're giving Carnage and the COG team enough time to buy and get 2 different snipers in their hands if they want it. Carnage having one of them. And that's not a position you really want to kind of give them in. You know how deadly they can be with one, even though Justin is down. Second snipers are up, and I'm just hoping that Carnage doesn't grab ammo. Let your teammate grab that second one, put it to work, give them a fighting chance, because all it takes is one shot to connect with the headshot, and then you're down to a 2v2.
Totally. Now the torque bow is in the hands of Joey though. So the question is, will they try and keep it? Will Joey even dare move from the water stairs now with 2 snipers in the opposite side? To consider picking up that sniper ammo. That's just a smoke hitting Joey, though. Not a frag grenade. Here come the frag grenades, though, and more. The torp bow does connect. 2v2 situation. Joey bursts into life. Quickly turning around, though. No map flipping just yet, or retaking of map control through the middle. Bridge. Carnage still with snipe in hand, remember. So the COG team now, 2v2, they have a really good chance of closing this map out.
Yeah, all it takes is those little moments right there. Now, Wingos, man, I've talked about his experience and his history with the sniper, but that experience means nothing if you're not able to show it off. Nice shots coming in, almost getting the down on his teammate. Not enough damage to be able to make that a possibility. Wingos backing up. Just hoping somebody up-A's his cover. You see the pre-fire there. New grenades being picked up. And this is going to be the best chance that they got. Kind of disperse the teammates with those frags. Create some distance and the 2v1. But the first frag is going to go out, trying to stop him from moving up on the middle bridge. No connection meeting made. And this is where you can see the COG team. Their plan is to sandwich from 2 different sides. The Locust team, they need to pick one side and go.
That's it. Joey's gone to the opposite high side. He's going to have the angle with the torp boat from behind. The junction will be a pinch location for the COG team if they play it correctly. Tilligent aware. He's tracking the flank. 30 seconds left on the clock. Nades in hand for Tilligent, and they are thrown. Torpo has the angle on the junction, and it connects again. 2v1 situation remains. Wingos trying to clutch it up for his team. He cannot do so. And as a result, the COG team will come back with that 2v3. Courtesy of some great torpo action from Joey Slane. He finishes with 9 kills. The first map going the way of his team. 4-1, the final score.
Yeah, not really what I expected to see out of the originals, but you got to give the onliners credit. And this is exactly what we've seen throughout the history of Gears. First, it was Glory. Then it was players like Summons, where you expect them to be online players. They get that online reputation, and then they show up in the biggest moments, whether it's online or in LAN. Then they perform. And I'm looking at onliners. This might be just a little bit too soon to Gears UE, but they have just dominated their opposition who have been here for years.
Yeah, absolutely so. And it was a really good map, actually, Jacob, because we had a lot of variety. Yes, it wasn't as close as the canals we saw in the previous semi-final, but we had action from both sides. The awesome torp bow in from Joey Slane was just the start of it. Of course, the sniping action immediately from Justin, actually, getting the 2 headshots in the first round really set the pace. Yeah, truly impressive, and set the pace for the map to come. But you know, that situation, that 2v3, it could have easily gone the other way if it wasn't for a godlike stick from Joey there to kick things off. But looks like we'll have War Machine next. We don't need to change host, so it should be any moment now that we get this next map started. And yeah, once again, it's just such a pleasure to be casting Ultimate Edition again. It's where I actually started casting myself and competed at LAN. And I would never have envisioned, Jacob, actually, in 2024, 9 years later after the release, that we'd be back casting it once again. But yeah, another big shout out to Deluxe, who has been by far and away the biggest community hoster of events, if you will, community events. And speaking of UE, of course, Deluxe casted before us, actually, way back on the ESL Pro League of Gears UE itself. And yeah, a big shout out to Chris, who's still working at it behind the scenes and put this together.
Yeah, I feel like Gears is one of those games, if you build it, they will come. If there's something to play for, people will play for it. And doesn't matter if it's the same rosters you've seen in the past or some of these new rosters you see jumbled up here. But I'm going to challenge Team Wingos, man. They did not really switch up their strategies, even when the sniper wasn't working. The original stuck to the original plan. So I want to see them to be able to switch things up. Play for torque boat, play for snipe, play for early elims on that mid box. The world is yours. You just got to be able to play for it.
That's it. Strong words are certainly needed in this time of pressure. Hold the nerve as you rail out those communications. Resonates will be the one to be taken down first. Jay Wingos does strike over on the snake, has the angle towards the midline of the map. Backing off very quickly, though, with a 4v3 situation for his team. Exertions going wide on the pocket. Careful, though, not to push up too far. Does get the slide on the weapon. of the sniper, though. Joey Slane, speaking of weapons, has a torpedo up top. Let's see if he can help his team out here once again.
He does have the angle. Excursion's kind of toying with his opponent right now, just kind of getting him to peek. He needs that one opportunity. He knows his teammate has a 3v2 elsewhere on the map, so there's no real reason to rush this play. Finally taking a shot. That one's not going to connect, and this is where he, too, can now play a little bit of disruptor to the plan that's going down on the other side. He can rotate that sniper around, get another angle, force someone to peek, and somebody just needs to take his spot and anchor this backside. Meanwhile, Joey's pushing the tempo up top, doing exactly what he needs to do with the only power weapon on the team.
Well said, Jacob. It's a little bit slow down, of course, War Machine here for the first round. Pistols. Slight movement through that Troika area, but it's actually Jay Wingos that will be the first down here. He'll be in the center of the map as Justin catches him off guard. 3v3 situation once again. This roster will claw back the numbers disadvantage. Justin running across to the snipe pocket to try and beat his opponent there to that cover. And his teammate straight away, Joey Slane, rotating from up top, down bottom to get that pinch. And a 3v2 situation remains now. Joey Slane picking up the new turbo ammo too.
Yeah, that was a good swap. That was a good swap because you saw Excursions, the 3v2. They tried to rotate it around. Wingo's got picked off by himself. And then slowly but surely they're getting picked off one by one by one. Grenade to try to cut off the exit of the turbo. Moving up with the elimination there as Raiden goes down. Back to back. Joey slaying. Joey chaining together Torque Bow eliminations from Torque Bow on Canals to the Torque Bow on War Machine. That's a weapon you don't want to have in this boy's hands.
There's the raw skill in action once more. You're right. Absolutely should he be playing the torque bow position on this map too. He's clearly so good with that weapon and a true threat that, honestly, Wingos, Tilligent, Raiden, Excursions, all four, they need to be so mindful of that now when they see a Golden Hunter lurking around. Or even a Grenadier, I should say. Because now, he has the torque bow in his hands once more. And the Grenadier is threatening here at the mid-box. 4v4 quickly brought down as the Wingos down is collected upon. Here come the teardrops. Not going to land perhaps the way he wants Joey Slane, but a 4v2 now. Let's see. Lovely movement from Joey Slane. Weak is Marcus. I'm surprised that his teammate isn't actually next to him here. He's struggling a little bit. Given the height disadvantage, the round is not over just yet. But a 3v1 situation remains. They just need to clean up.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate the circumstances there because it looked like he was playing like he did have help. He did have backup at one point or another. We did see backup there. Tilligent was able to kind of solidify the 1v1. Maybe he saw the disparity in the teamwork. Tilligent's getting crossed out from up top. He's getting marked as well. The biggest thing, as soon as he gets up A, they're going to see it has to be shot. With a nice reaction shot as he upmade the cover to take him down. Get a little too dicey for my liking, so luckily for him, he was able to shut it down before it got a little bit more messy than what he was doing.
Absolutely so. 2 rounds in a row now for onliners. And truthfully so, perhaps some momentum has been demonstrated at this point. Wingos, that experience of him, Braden, of the rest of the roster needs to come through, and needs to come through now. First to fall here on War Machine on map number 2 of the second semi-final. The down is quickly recovered. In fact, for the COG team, they are still up. Joey Slane actually taken down. 4v3 situation. Carnage responds back with a lovely back A, but Raiden gets the down in response. Full red is he on mid-box, pausing for a moment, and then will collect the down and push across and have that angle towards the snake. Excursions has located that player, and that down and kill will surely come through. Just the Marcus, or rather the Hoffman, I should say, in the middle of the map remaining. And there we go, cleaning that one up is the COG team. They're recovering after a difficult start to that round, but they're very much still in it, Jake.
Yeah, finally we're seeing some life come out of the originals. Kind of showing him what he got. Raiden, even though he kind of went down, they did a good job of kind of backing him up. Wingos with that first elimination. So I want to see kind of more of that aggression, more of that kind of confidence. I want to see it in the game plan of strategy. Free window take on one side, taking it from the other, but they're going to get matched up. Kind of playing back in towards the middle, not rotating those grenades up top. One team's going to use them down low. The other team's going to kind of pocket them. I think that's going to be the difference maker. The fact that they now have a little bit of advantage in terms of those frags.
Could be right. Frags thrown by Resonates there across the snake. Only one used. Carnage will be the one to be down first, and he's on window. That's a problem. That really is, because the revive will certainly not come through anytime soon, if at all. 3v4 as Wingos is taken down. Justin full red at the snipe has the cover advantage as Excursions rolls just out of sight line. A 4v2 now. Tilligent trying to clutch up on the snake. Gets the one, cannot get the gib across the cover. And that will be it for this round. Resonates with the final kill, bringing his team to map point once again here. And this is quite a bit of a contrast, actually, to the first semi-final. Canals played a little bit slower at times, Jacob, and now I feel as though War Machine is being played a little bit more safely in the middle. You know, you have players sitting back on the sandbags in the middle, lancering a little bit, and it's certainly not a bad strategy. You know, it's very common, in fact, not to go up to the mid box, but still, these awesome players are finding downs given any slight opportunity. Torpo, I think, was actually weapon slided in the smoke there. Yeah, there you go. And Joey, he has it.
Yeah, Bingo's just getting crossed by window. Smoke is out. Really wasn't able to have any other options, but they're quickly moving, trying to grab the sniper. That's Excursions, who actually does go down, quickly cleaned up by the rotating Justin. A huge advantage, and it does look like that Torpo is going to connect. Joey's slaying, going on a terror. Raiden's taken down as well, and that's going to be the map as Joey's slaying puts the final nail in the coffin. 2-0. The onliners have complete and utter control in this series.
That they do. Joey Slane, you know, it's not only about raw skill, is it? Especially when it comes to power weapons, you need to have the positioning to use them and the opportunities to actually find those awesome sticks, as he's been finding. And he pushes all the way to the opposite side of up top, past that Troika, and has an awesome angle on the top of the staircase, just above those frags on their side, getting the first kill. And that was all she wrote, as his team was doing so well down bottom as well. Well played onliners, honestly. Looking very, very good here against the experience of the Originals roster. The next map, and potentially the final map, being Mansion in this series, if, of course, onliners do keep up this momentum. What do you think, Jacob? Do you think this is an incredible comeback, perhaps, on the way, or could you see a 3-0 coming up here?
I was kind of hoping, I was crossing my fingers that you just wouldn't ask me that question, because I wanted to be nice, Toby. I wanted to be nice. But I'll go ahead and say it. I just don't think there's any chance. I don't think there's any chance that the Originals can win this. They've just been outmatched and outclassed on a sniper, slow-paced type map like Canals, a faster-paced type map like War Machine. Even when you were able to slow things down and get an advantage in terms of weapons, it came crumbling down. I just don't really see anything that's just shown me that there's a chance at all. I think this is just 3-0. We can move on to the grand finals, take our commercial break, get our popcorn, and get ready for a real show.
Listen, though, Jacob, we are going on to Mansion, and I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. And also remind everybody in the chat, of course, as well, from the first semi-final. Mansion was actually the map that turned things around, that started the comeback for Brolic and the boys, right? And as a result, I mean, given just how the Mansion dynamic plays out, maybe, just maybe, this could change things up. I feel as though Talkbow and Snipe have been a really crucial set of variables so far in this matchup. Maybe with both of those gone, pretty much from the action, maybe this contrast will give the opportunity here. Surely the Originals at least can have their fingers crossed. If their composure can show, maybe, just maybe, they have a chance at taking it to the next map.
I will say, if there is any map, it is going to be this one, because exactly what you say, you don't have that power weapon focus, you don't have the distractions, it's just straight up in your face Gears of War action. I like how Wingo did too. Put him to the test. His team killed. He gets taken down. Raiden towards the middle. Another one's being knocked back at you from Wingos. And this is what I need to see. I need to see the OG of OGs begin to heat up here on the Mansion.
That's it. Frags thrown out. Last player remaining on the sandbag. Justin stuck into the corner. Look how respectfully they are playing right now. As wide as you can possibly go. It's almost like I'm watching Gears 3 for a second. Speaking of nostalgia, Jacob going ultra wide with the Lancers out. My goodness me. Lots of respect shown. But that is how you play it, right? No disrespect, of course. By that analysis, it is just pure Gears esports on our screens, and a pleasure to watch, indeed. That's a great start, truly, for the Originals. Can they keep it up? Oh, a quick down onto Tilligent and Raiden as well. Can they recover?
Oh, there's just a lot of downs going down. It's looking a little messy. But I do think the Dust is multiple eliminations going the way of the onliners. And now there's just one person left. I want to say it's Tilligent. Yes, it is. And he's not even having a chance to grab the sniper, but he has a good chance of the 1v1. This needs to be taken, and it needs to be taken now. Boom shot finally picked up, and now space is being created. Tilligent not taking advantage while he had it.
He comes around the corner and just sees two shotguns, bringing it down to one, but unfortunately, before I can finish my sentence, immediately he is dropped after that awesome back A. 1-1 as the COG team do respond. And yet again, despite the round loss, Jacob, they do still seem quite threatening out there in the garden, through the middle, plant part through the statue area in particular. And there's always that threat of the weapon slide of the boom shot. So the COG team don't have any time to breathe. Let's see if they can keep handling this push. Raiden straight into the bowl that contains that boom shot. But Resonate and Joe Slane, they go huge over on that end of the map. Wingos is down at the statue. 3v1 very quickly for Tilligent to now try and clutch up with.
I mean, he has the door blocked off, but they can easily space him out with the boom shot. Let's go in, and man, just embarrassed him with the reaction. And the boom shot, just in case, takes his teammate out. Wasn't even needed, but you get the point. They want to just bury him 6 feet deep. They only want to pop the dirt on. They want to park the truck on top afterwards.
I think he got the point as well, because you didn't even see the shot come out on the screen in front of him. Only the explosions, almost fireworks from the boom shot afterwards. That was just brutal. Wow. That's a way to finish a round for sure. No clutch happening today for him. Jay Wingos there, though, with a flank through statue, finds Carnage. Trading of kills, 3v3 situation. The Battle of Eye might be prematurely ended, though. The mismantle comes from Wingos. The frags are thrown in as well for good measure. And that's the COG team certainly confirming the kills there. Tilligent, can he clutch this time? Not going to be the case. The whack comes through. Just like that, blink and you miss it. The COG team are stacking up rounds very quickly indeed. 3-1 the scoreline.
Yeah, this is looking like done and dusted. Unless we get some sort of miracle, maybe just a straight three-piece off the rip to start to build that life and momentum. I just don't really see it happening. They're just playing lights out, and there really hasn't been an answer on an individual or team level.
You could be right, Jacob. The speed is very quick indeed. Frags thrown in. The boom shot is being picked up, actually, and they do have it in hand. Able to fire one, 3v2, brought it down to a 2v2. Full red, SK is down. The boom shot is currently out of play. In fact, I think he fired his last shot there. The revive chain has to come through. Intelligent looking for it. And no, they haven't been able to collect on those downs. Oh, no, excuse me. Raiden will be taken down, and just like that, Resonate will finalize the kill onto Tilligent. And the final map will come through for this semi-final. It's a very quick 3-0. Courtesy of Resonades. Joey Slane, S. Justin, and Carnage. Well played indeed. A ruthless performance from them in the semi-final as they book themselves a position in the grand final. See if they can take on the absolute demons that await them.
Yeah, they were just looked like they were just on the highway on cruise control. They were kicked back, relaxed. Even looked like they had good communication. They were there playing together. But on the other side, it looked like they were pushing a car uphill. Every single thing that they tried was just matched. They got taken down. Even when they had shines of hope in that last round, Raiden getting the boom shot. The first one was a little bit of a dub. The second one was even worse than the first. It just seemed like they were flustered. They were rushed. They were desperate in a lot of their plays. On the other side, it seemed like they just had so much confidence that no matter what was thrown their way, they knew they can handle it and didn't get themselves flustered or have any desperate moves at all throughout the course of the whole series, let alone a singular map.
Yeah, well said. And despite the word I used was a threat, a threatening round here and there from Wingos in particular, played very well at times. Despite a great performance, it just seemed like it just wasn't enough. Time and time again, they always had a response to whatever was thrown at them. Joey Slane, of course, I think he's certainly a contender for MVP for that matchup, Jacob, given how amazing a lot of his talk bows were. And a fantastic stick, in particular, from Canals comes to mind. We have the bracket on our screen now, folks. That is the grand final that we have up and coming. underdogs versus onliners. Who is going to come out on top? They've had a fantastic trail through the bracket thus far to land themselves into this position. It's going to be a best of 5 series. Let us know in the chat who you think is the favorite to take it for this one. Folks, if you're enjoying the stream today, once again, please do consider hitting that follow button on the channel. There's going to be more tournaments just like this on the way in the future. And also tweet out the stream, let people know that this event is going down on Gears Ultimate Edition. And yeah, thanks so much for watching so far. We got the grand final coming up right after this short break. Welcome back, folks. Folks, it's grand final time here of this incredible UE event. It's 2024, and we're casting and watching and playing Gears Ultimate Edition. For me, Jacob, it is the Ultimate Edition. It is my favorite Gears game, and tonight has not disappointed whatsoever. It has been a great occasion so far, but of course, there has to be a conclusion, and that is going to be the grand final here. Jacob, I don't even want to mention the teams just yet because they are just so scary, especially that first semi-finalist coming through the grand final. I just want to hear it. Just before we set the scene, I just want to know your gut instinct. Who's the favorite going into this one?
Underdogs, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. But I've been wrong so many times in my life. You know what I mean? Just the way they've been playing, they've already beat two big teams so far, and to me, this is a team that they're going up against that's performing well. But I don't think they're performing better than the competition that they played so far. So I think they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, that's it, right? And they've also had a little bit of a pause, of course, while waiting for this second semi-final to conclude, right?
Yeah.
And I do wonder if that's a little knock to the momentum. That is a word that we used earlier when it came to Mansion, of course, but it didn't seem to affect them too much. So I don't know if that will actually be a component here. In any case, the first map is Gridlock, right? And we saw the strat book literally thrown at this underdogs roster when they went up against Brolic, Killer Sound, etc. in the semi-final. But it wasn't a problem for them at all.
Okay.
They didn't really need the snipe, did they? They simply responded in kind, and I think that could be a pretty difficult first map for onliners to really challenge them on. I mean, one thing is for sure: there's no talk bow on the map, Jacob. So Joey Slane can't really utilize that here
Yeah.
in the start.
Yeah, to me, I think it's really going to come down to like how well the rest of the team behind Juke is going to be able to play. You know what I mean? We've seen some players really step up and try to have a performance, but against underdogs in MFH, against underdogs in Unfrickwittable, they've had that consistent performance from Juke Slayer. I need JT Money. I need Deadly. I need Craze. I need somebody to set up and really take the pressure off his teammates' back. And I feel like they're going to be able to do it in this match. I think being able to watch their opponents play it out, I think they're going to be able to fix a lot of the mistakes, but capitalize from what they've seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, I have full confidence in both teams in that respect. It's almost a caster curse at some point when you start mentioning composure and teams don't end up being composed. But truthfully, so I've been impressed. I truly have. This is, of course, a community-run event. Ultimate Edition was not the previous major Gears title in the competitive rotation, and it's not been months in advance necessarily that we've been waiting for this event to kickstart since the announcement. So there hasn't been a huge amount of time for these teams to come back on a very old classic game to get back into the swing of things of classic Ultimate Edition play. But no, everyone has really turned up to the occasion. Competitive is flowing nicely. Competitive action here on our screens, and I do wonder now when it comes to this grand final, $250 prize pool, Jacob. Is it just going to be a continuation of that? I would suspect
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, to me, it's just going to be tough. You know, as I continue to look at the map cycle, Gridlock first, War Machine, Clock Tower, Mansion, Canals, if the rest of the cycle kind of needs it. I will say Gridlock was not a good map for the underdogs. It was not a good map at all. It didn't seem like they had strategy. It didn't seem like they had teamwork. Yes, they were able to kind of pick it back up and kind of close it out with a nice clock tower win, but you need to be able to make it to your strong maps. And looking at some of these maps, War Machine, Clock Tower, Canals, maps 2, maps 3, and maps 5, I would kind of favor those for underdogs, but you need to be able to make it to map 5 in general to make it to the series. So I think Gridlock is really going to be the tail of the tape. It's really going to tell everything of what we could see here if there's going to be fight in the underdogs at all.
Well said, Jacob. Well, folks, it's time. The grand final has kick-started. You heard us. It is Gridlock for map number 1 as the smokes are thrown into the tower and also at nades. 3 players sent to that sniper for Joey Slade. Resonate as well with the Lancer cross. Carnage is dropped. Nades coming through, though, finding not only his teammate, but also Resonate as well. Justin down. Juke Slayer full red. So he tries to collapse and finalize that down. And the boom shot. Well, a lot of team kills. so far from the COG team already, but it doesn't really matter, does it? As the
Yep.
one round does come through, Duke Slayer and Money Shot, the last players alive.
Yeah, to me, it's a nice first round. Like I said, Gridlock is really going to be the tail of the tape. They fell flat, so flat in that first series that we saw when they did play Gridlock. So it's great to see them show some life. Even if they do use Gridlock or lose Gridlock, excuse me, I want to see them put up a fight because that's what's going to show what we're going to see on the rest of these maps.
That's it. Duke Slayer straight into the middle of pillars. It's now going to be 3 snipe for the COG team. Preferred side for playing aggressive or rolling inside. Of course, you have the right-hand advantage if up in close with the shotgun. Money Shot does find Resonates. 4v3 situation. Carnage with Boom Shot in hand. He's aiming it just across to the L car looking for the potential shot. Has to be careful. He doesn't end up shooting himself on the top of that wall, of course. Ultimate Edition, you can't shoot down as easily as the newer games. Duke Slayer just round the back in front of him. Carnage, he could boom shot this pillar, but looks like Duke Slayer is kind of baiting that at this point in time. Money Shot naded elsewhere. 3v3 remains.
And right now he has the sniper right above him as well. So Carnage is kind of hedging his bets here. Juke's just forcing him back and back. And the more space they take away, the better it is going to be for the onliners. Crazematic being forced to the top of the steps. They're letting Duke Slayer move around with that sniper that he has. But with all the space that they've given up, onliners can easily wait for the next boom shot, wait for the next set of nades and the next sniper before they begin to move in on this 3v3. Here attempts to close out this round.
Ooh.
Did not expect
Duke
that
Slayer.
one.
Yeah, no, honestly, snipe from the spawn side. He does catch ahead there. But Duke Slayer, he is certainly capable of pulling those kind of shots off. We know that much so far from the broadcast. BB So Deadly finds Joey as he tries to retaliate with a push. He is shut down. A 3v1 remains for Carnage. But no, the boom shot in hand, it does not matter. Just as he bounces and pulls off that cover, Duke Slayer with an instant headshot and 4 kills to his name, already deadly, once again with that snipe.
Yeah, and there was a lot of chirping in the chat about Joey. You know, Fatal Strike, she mentioned he is Mental's brother. And I will say, when you're Mental's brother, you get a lot. Can you imagine when the internet goes out and Mental's like, yo, 1v1 real quick, just to keep himself warm? That's a lot of practice. It's something that you don't know about players. So I'll be looking at them for a little bit of a comeback. This is going to be their bad side towards the snipe tower. But if they can move in almost unscathed, they can begin to push their teammates out. And if they get down, that's going to be huge. But they're almost going through unscathed until Juke finally goes down. They don't move in for the actual kill. Flags are coming out. That's going to make them bounce around elsewhere. And the tower has now been taken back. Deadly feeling the confidence to push up. Doesn't get an elim, but he gets all that positioning.
They're checking behind the Locusts to collect those kills on the flank, and they do find them actually. 4v2 with no casualties on this side, despite massive pressure applied in the snipe tower. Carnage with the boom shot in hand will probably look for the simple boom onto the wall. Does it even matter though? Justin gets the headshot on the Deadly. A 4v1 remains. Crazematic is dropped down. Very, very good job, I have to say, from the onliners there. As their team name, of course, is titled. That they dealt with the flank so well. So much pressure was being applied up top. Of course, they're very, very scary. In essence, just to play against, simply the underdogs. But to deal with that in the middle of the map, that takes some great organization. And they didn't even lose a player in that. 2-1 the score. They answer back. 3 players back straight up to snipe from Duke Slayer, Crazematic, and BB So Deadly up top. Snipe collected. Nades on the other end, but boom shot from Carnage once more.
And nice shot by Dunk. Oh, even better one by Juke. Excuse me, on his name there the first time as Resonate goes down. Deadly gets traded out. JT immediately goes down through a nice place boom shot by Carnage. And honestly, I want to say this is looking like a good round for the onliners, but anything can happen when Juke has the sniper.
That's it. 3v2. Joey Slane has nades to his name as well. That is the question. Can Duke Slayer just bring this back? We've seen a lot of 2v3s so far in the broadcast today. It's not out of the question, even when a boom shot is positioned just above that superstar call there. Let's see. 3 minutes to work with for onliners. They have the height advantage, that's safe to say, and they are trapped at the COG team. They need to get out ASAP. Crazematic. The boom shot bait will not come through. Successfully, anyway. He's downed Duke Slayer. Ooh. Just a headshot there. 1v3, let's see. All to do, but not going to come through. It's not often you see players getting trapped in spawn on gridlock, Jacob. That is one of the more difficult clutches to make, that's for sure, in Gears 1 or UE.
Yeah, and this is the tragedy that I felt like could happen in a moment like this. Juke is heating up, but again, there's nobody that's consistently able to keep up with the pressure that he's putting down. And in big moments like that, you need somebody that you can count on. And it can't always be Juke get the snipe fall back. And on the other side of things, we've seen Justin, we've seen Joey, we've seen a lot of these guys perform in different scenarios and not leave it up to one person. And that's what we're seeing again. Early control out of the sniper. And with no boom shot picked up just yet, I might have been my words just a little bit too soon. That is looking good. A grenade going deep, just not deep enough. And so as the dust settles, it is going to be a 4v4 with split weapons.
Yeah, it's like the base strat has been established for both teams now firmly. 3 snipe on the one side when they roll in. And the boom shot 2-2 down bottom on the opposite side. Juke Slayer actually getting downed during this. The boom shot not going to connect, that's for sure. And he's going to be dropped in kind. The money shot, boom, is not the shot that he needed. That's for sure. He drops the boom. Carnage gets access to that again. And that's huge. 4v2 now. Carnage rotating the boom shot up to the snipe tower, playing it by the book to make sure this can come through without any pain whatsoever. Charismatic pistol out, we've seen the flank. Shoots Joey off, but just pause perhaps in the death. That is due. 4v1 quickly brought to a 3-2 round score. And a fantastic response from the Locust. But Jacob, I mean, what went wrong there for the COG team?
It just seems like they're desperate. They're playing very, very quick, but too quick for their own good. They pushed up towards the other side of the map, but a boom shot that missed, and then he got cornered in the steps. He tried to use the next one, but it just was too much. It didn't seem like anybody was on the same page, even with the power weapons they were able to control. So I'm looking for something different here. Play a little bit more with confidence in what you're doing here in these strategies. And mirrored strategies going out yet again. Sniper for one team, grenade boom for the other. Everybody falling back, and they're putting the pressure on a Juke yet again to make the play. And I don't think that's going to work, because once they begin to move up on the other side of the map with the boom shot, take away position, that's where you're going to see that eventually when you leave it all into one person, it's just too much for one person to handle. Unless you're Hudson's, maybe.
Yes, when it comes to Ultimate Edition, or shout out to say Rift Syntax for any European competitive players in the chat today, as Rift were known for what was called hashtag Get Rifted, actually, back in during the EGL days, of playing very, very slow with a snipe, and it actually working very well on LAN. Shout out to them, but Juke Slayer, he is perhaps the star up-and-comer. You know, we mentioned that on the opposite team, we have Joey Slane, who's literally Mental's brother. And so, just those two alone, Jacob, it's just insane, the new talent we have on our screens here. That contrast from team to team, it's beautiful to see. But let's see if Juke Slayer can bring out more beautiful headshots, as that is desperately needed here in this situation.
Oh, don't fall for the bait. That's a pretty big back wall to hit. Smoke's going in. They see the push coming out. Boom shot is out. First down. Prismatic. Quickly revive. Second one not able to connect. And while all that's going down, Juke's able to get the headshot to Justin. They have a huge advantage now. They just need to be able to solidify this round. Oh, another miss. That's not good for Juke, because now the boom shot, a fresh pair of boom shots are in the hands of the onliners.
That's it. Frags thrown onto that side of Elcar and Arch, but Resonate is safe. SK trying to push off the pressure here. On the flank, Carnage. The man as that character. Snipe just passing by Resonate's head. BB Deadly will find Joey Slane though, and that should really be the nail in the coffin for this round. 4v2. Boom shots in hand for Resonate. Can he get to the safety of the Hambus Tower? No, sirree. Rhodey strafing all the way back, but they've reached the doorway of the staircase, if you will, and both of them just down or headshotted immediately. Ruthlessly played by the COG team. Calculated so well. 3-3 the score for the first map. This grand final looks to be a close one.
Yeah, this is a little bit closer than I thought it was going to be, but hey, when you put up a fight and you get tested, sometimes this is what happens. You're able to face adversity and come out on the other side. But you can see multiple players going on over. It does look like a 3-on over to Snipe. for the onliners. Might be matched on the other side, but only time will tell. They immediately go in, grab the sniper, uncontested at that. They're going for a boom push. They want to get that first elim if they can, but two players immediately go down. This has opened up a huge amount of opportunity for the onliners.
And they're absolutely swarming onto that Elcar. Charismatic, the bed. He does have the boom shot. He fires it, but no, it's a swing and a miss. It will not get the connection he desperately needs to keep his teammates alive. So BB So Deadly does actually stand up on his own, but it's not going to be leading to anything there. He does not survive. It's 4v2 as the dust settles. And this should be gridlock done. Bar an absolute miracle.
Yeah, they
boom
put
shot.
Everything on that boom shot grab and just
Yeah.
weren't really able to do anything with it. Now boom shot, sniper, man advantage, positioning's on over the side. Charismatic's able to get one on Justin, but immediately goes down, leaving the man, the myth, the legend, Juke Slayer by himself in a 1v3, but this time he doesn't have a sniper in hand.
Nah, he does not. Another classic clutch position of the plant pots on gridlock here on our screen. Testing the water to see if he can roll to the left and maybe reach the Hambis tower, but not going to happen. Completely angled out as Carnage goes wide on that railing. Well played indeed from onliners. I think we're both shocked in many ways. Not shocked, but a little bit surprised, shall we say, for this first map to go the way of onliners, because I'm with you, Jacob. I really do favor this Underdogs roster based on the challenging semi-final that they were able to deal with there and the difficulties that they had early on. But 3-4 the final score. It's a very close map number one, and I'm very impressed with the opposition here against them.
Yeah, to me, I like what I've seen so far. Like I said, Gridlock was probably the worst map that they have played in the entire tournament. And so to be able to show some life, you still lose it 3-4. And you did see some glimmers of hope from your teammates. It's So Deadly, Charismatic, and they had some shines there, but I need to see more. It wasn't enough. Juke just needed a little bit more help. He got the sniper in hand, but in some of those rounds when he fell back with the sniper, sometimes he had one, maybe even two teammates dead, so he really wasn't able to utilize it. But you saw the rounds where his teammates were able to stay alive, those headshots and the moves that he was able to make and open up different sides of the map. I want to see more of that, but as we get into the next map, War Machine, that's where it gets a little bit scary for them, because I haven't really seen that second player step up like I keep asking for match after match after match.
Totally. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you there, Jacob, wholeheartedly. And War Machine, as you said, it's an interesting dynamic here that could play out, because Joey Slane clearly loves the talk bow, tries to get it in his hands as much as possible, and is very effective with it. Meanwhile, on the opposition, on the opposing team, you've got Juke Slayer, who really wants that snipe. And so are we going to see, instead of just base strat going back and forth based on the stronger side that you have, as we saw on Gridlock, is that going to change up now for just a constant favoring of one weapon on either team? And how will that, play out in those late rounds? Remember, Juke Slayer had the amazing 3v1 clutch earlier on War Machine, early on in the broadcast, with the snipe. And Joey Slane was amazing at dealing with those icebreaker moments to clutch up for his team through Canals and War Machine in the previous match on broadcast. So I'm curious, actually, which of those two star players with the power weapons is going to stand out here, and whether the teams will actually set aside base strat and just lean in fully on that potential star play from those players.
Yeah, if I'm having to look at it big picture, or just kind of like a black slate, take a step back, look at it from a ghost camera's perspective, I got to imagine Joey's going to have more potential to go off if he does utilize that torque bow. Sniper, it does have a certain amount of risk to be able to go and get it, even if you're trying to slide it, because that window player, depending on if he goes through middle or through that sniper side, he will spot it out. So it's not going to be as easy as a smoke play, three players pushing over toward torque bow. So in terms of potential, I think we have more potential of Joey going off. But I think Juke, with the amount of pressure, if he's able to rise to the occasion, he could go for those sniper plays, cause some attention, go over to his side. But again, he's going to need some of his teammates to step up on that open side of the map, the torque bow side of the map, to be able to make a play, whether if it's window, mid box, or maybe even going down towards the snake and try to get across.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, really. I think the access of torque bow has always been a lot easier to attain, isn't it? On War Machine historically, smokes or not, it's just simply very easy to weapon slide into cover. And also, you've got great access to different areas of the map. It's a little bit open, but you can run towards nades. You can reset for a moment on a mid box. Meanwhile, snipe is literally a pit, right? You get angled from window. If you pick that that snipe up and you're angled out in any shape or form, you're really stuck there. It's very hard to get out with that weapon. And so, yes, tactically speaking, I think Joey has the advantage there. If we're really doing a head to head as to which weapon and which player can perhaps have the biggest influence on how this map is played. Now, the question is though, will he have the clutch potential of Duke Slayer that I referred to just a second ago? I mean, he was so good with that weapon. You know,
Yeah.
so good, so deadly, and even on gridlock, he had some scary moments too. So let's see, right? They've gone down a map for the first time today. I'm pretty sure, at least in the broadcast so far. So let's see how they deal with the pressure piling on them on map number 2 here.
You see decisions, and you got to be careful not to get stuck on the mailbox. I forget which one of those spawns get that mailbox spawn. Probably the worst setup in spawn history of any Gears map, but whoever got it, doesn't matter. They're able to make it the position. Juke taking the tide. He's not going towards the sniper. He's taking a huge roll in a huge position here towards the middle, ready to take any challenge that's faced, but a little bit of a miss roll, but that's not going to matter. Takes down Joey. Carnage falls. Full middle control for the underdogs.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely great response there from Duke Slayer. Full red, doesn't matter, bounces around the mid box and finds that rival, perhaps you might say, of Joey Slane on that turbo pillar. Justin gets it down before he bows out. Won't mean much, of course, though. There's 4 players left alive for Team Underdogs. A strong response from them, everyone getting a kill to their name in the end. And yeah, no surprise there, Jacob. Joey Slane went straight up to the torpedo pillar. No passive play yet on War Machine, and perhaps never, based on how these two teams have been playing today. Let's see how Vendor Machine or mid-box will be played here again.
Nice shots being traded off, and you can kind of see both of them trying to hide their position, not wanting to give it up. Resonades pushing on over to the enemy side. Couple quick spray with the Lancer, but he's taking a lot of shots with the shotgun, forced to back up. Nice position there if he's able to get the frag, but throws a little bit too deep, bounces off the wall. While all this is going down up top in a stalemated 1v1 situation, Joey goes down, so that forces Resonate to push the fight, so that way he can try to get it back into a fight, but out of nowhere, somebody comes up top to disrupt the fight, to give a huge advantage on over to Underdogs yet again.
They need to push this numbers advantage they had, but it's not even an advantage. There was one player left on the window in the form of Carnage, or excuse me, the SK just on that window. As they do get a second round, do Underdogs. Not a single life lost once more. Only 2 down so far for the COG team, which is surprising because it hasn't seemed too easy, it must be said. You know, as you said, Jacob is a little bit slower played by both teams. Careful with their positioning to not give it away too quickly, but Joey Slane, looking by the torpedo pillar. Nades thrown his way, will back off. JT Money Shot not going down to the snipe himself. Charismatic, though, will go straight back up to the to rather the Troika. And he has the angle down onto middle now. Lancering away, resonates, he pushed across the snake. Doesn't lead to much. His headshot, or head, is gone, courtesy of Duke Slayer's pistol. 4v3 situation. The COG team are in a horrible position, you might argue. Angled from everywhere. But they do get a kill. Perhaps they can survive. A little bit of a push coming through for Justin, but yep, lasered in the back, essentially, as soon as he moves out of cover. Joey Slane nearby. 2v2 remains. Duke Slayer with torque bow in hand.
I was going to say, he's down, torque bow in hand. They're going to be able to get that one. Another down coming in. That torque bow is going to connect as well. Duke Slayer is saying it's not just the sniper, it's the torque bow as well. You trust me with the power weapons, I will take control. He is separated from his teammate, though. He has to be careful not to overstep his boundaries in this 1v1. And you can see him cutting off the path for an easy sniper pickup. Slide or not, you have to go through him to make it happen. But the tendency of War Machine, sometimes you're going to have to split up in order to cut off your opponent, and that's going to be the opportunity. Fight towards the mid box. Charismatic sees it coming. He through him before Juke finally gets the heart attack if you're on that team, but trust in Juke, he will prevail.
And that's the beauty of Ultimate Edition, of course, Jacob. As soon as that Gib comes through and you realize I am still pretty healthy in terms of the damage put upon me, then it's on. It's a 1v1 situation and not simply just a race to who shoots first, like it can be in many other Gears games with the one-shot Gibbs and the two-shot downs. But thankfully for Dukeslayer and his team, he got a very accurate shot off that to make sure that 1v1 was over very quickly indeed. Charismatic, once again, walking his way up to the Troika area. He has the angle uncontested. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Resonates will join him up top. BB So Deadly hanging around just by the window, eager to watch this mid-box. Some shot being fired his way, or being fired from him, I should say, on the Dom. Quick push from Joey Slane down Snake. Not going to lead to much. Dukeslayer shuts that down in a heartbeat. 4v3 now. The big 1v up top. It's huge. Resonates versus Charismatic. Both players weak. One shot needed from either player. Charismatic the victor. 4v1 as the dust settles. Carnage full ride stuck inside Troika. That should be all she wrote. Can't clean up his kill. It's 4-0 already, Jacob.
Wow.
What a quick map that was.
Felt like I just took a nap and woke up. What happened in that map?
What happened?
I just like it, man. Charismatic going up top. You got Dukeslayer playing in towards the middle. I asked for somebody to step up. We got multiple people stepping up on this map to shut it down 4-0 to tie us up at 1-1 apiece. So now I'm asking questions about what a loss would do to a team like Dukeslayer. Now Joey and Joey Slayer's team and how they've been performing up far. Before this match they had a 3-0. They're favorites but looking at chat to win it all, and now you get shut out 4-0. And I ask you, Toby, does that do something to you mentally, or is that easily able to kind of dust off the dirt off your shoulders and have a pitcher's mentality and get ready to go up to the plate and throw another strike?
Yeah, that's the question right now, isn't it? I really do wonder how these team comms are looking from either side, right? We're not watching Mental and Optic Gaming playing here against, Envious of old, or should I say Swarm, to go back to Ultimate Edition, of course, before Optic was the banner for Mental. But speaking of Mental, instead, we've got his younger brother playing, Jacob. It's insane, right? Who would have thought that we'd have this this dynamic playing out here in front of us, of new gen players just coming up very fast indeed and putting on such an amazing performance for us. Switching host once more, folks. The next map I'm sure will be a good one. But Jacob coming off a 4-0. My goodness me. The question is, mentally, how did you respond to that? As that was the quickest map we've seen so far on broadcast.
Yeah, to me, it all depends on the map. So hold on, before I get my thought process, let me look real quick. It is going to be Clock Tower that we're going to next. And if I thought this was a mansion style map, I think you can kind of wash it out, get aggressive, get early eliminations, and just kind of destroy the team just like they did to you. Clock Tower does have a little bit of teamwork that does go on. And from what we're seeing, if Juke's players are stepping up to the plate and starting to perform on a level like his, that's what I'm going to start to get worried for the onliners. But if they could continue to find the weaknesses in the armor, then we could possibly see a long series going to a map 5 where you can toss a coin in the air and you got to call it as it comes down.
Yeah, that is it. That's it. Now, strategy-wise, there wasn't a huge shake-up either on War Machine. I think both of these teams do just want to lean into base strat on either side. But unlike Gridlock, War Machine was a completely different dynamic. 4-0, super fast rounds, not many lives lost at all. A true battering. And I do wonder now, as we go into Clock Tower, is this now the time to rethink base? Right? Do you just want to keep doing 4 up top? Do you want to try a frag grenade strat where one player goes down low to throw them up at the right time? Is the concern there for Dukeslayer picking up the snipe and doing work with it for onliners? I mean, you'd think so, but base strat didn't work out there. So these are the questions they're going to be asking themselves for sure. I don't think they can rest on the laurels now after that map. They really need to have a rethink, I think.
Yeah,
going into
I
this map.
agree. It is going to be a little bit of a mental struggle as they battle getting into these early rounds. But I think a team, has to realize that you got to stick to your strategies. Once you start pinning things together, throwing darts to the dartboard, hoping something sticks. That when things are going to start to come and start to fall down. So even though you got mollywopped, you got destroyed, everything came crumbling down 4-0, you still have to believe that that was a different map. Now, our clock tower game, what we practice, our strats, whether the base strats or tricks up underneath the sleeve, are going to be better. So they just need to have the confidence to be able to do that and not make these desperate mistakes, these desperate moves that we saw on War Machine.
Absolutely. So let's get into the third map of this grand final. And a quick shout out once again to Deluxe, the host of this tournament, Natural Law GG. That is actually the Twitter handle. If you are considering or able to help be a sponsor in a future event, please do contact DeluxeHaas on Twitter or Natural Law GG on Twitter. Any support is greatly appreciated to keep these events going. Thanks once again to Deluxe hosting. And yeah, it is, yeah, you can simply donate. You can provide support in any way you can. Anything is certainly something Deluxe
and I'll cast the next one, or you could donate to have me not cast the next one. Either way, your donations mean so much. But as we get finally into this game, at 2v2, already the dust settled. You know how quickly these strats happened in Clock Tower, playing for the middle. You saw they pushed towards the back slur. It was a team kill, though. Joey took down Resonides, immediately went down after. That's how it came down to be into a 2v2. And it's little mistakes like that, the minute mistakes that really cost you in the end. Because whether you win this round or not, it starts to do something to you mentally. It starts to, hey, I made a mistake, and one mistake leads to another, and they begin to pile up. But I do think with the power weapon in hand for Justin, you see them rotating out towards the boom shot. They're just going to collect them all like Pokemon, and you can add a headshot to that list and slowly but surely win this round.
Gorgeous turn from Justin there, straight up to the host spot. Ooh, almost finding the second headshot there, as Duke Slayer was just a little bit far back from the host spot to be too clear there. 2v1 situation. Justin goes up top, aims his way. Not going to fire. And just waiting for Carnage to come up with the boom shot. Duke Slayer with a really difficult 1v2 in front of him. Can get boomed on the back wall there. That's the first one going right. Ooh, full red, almost getting the down. One shot will certainly get the DBNO, but it's not going to come through. Carnage does not allow it. The boom against the wall will be the demise for Duke Slayer confirmed, and the first round will go the way of Justin and Carnage.
I had to wipe my eyes after that first boom shot. It looked like I shot it there for a second. That was just a wide miss. And it's just a weird situation because he had his back up against the sniper wall. Take your time. He will make a mistake. They eventually were able to get the elimination. But again, at the beginning of the round, I talked about the minute mistakes, the little mistakes. And you just don't want to let them continue to pile up. But luckily for them, they did close out that round. They have the good side here and a chance to chain together a couple rounds. But with the first couple downs, the chain revives coming through. Nobody able to pick up any kills just yet. Almost gets the headshot there from Crazematic, but the downs continue to get chained together. Deadly's down twice, and I don't think they can be the hero here. Not without smokes, at least.
I think smokes are bare minimum for even a chance. BB So Deadly, excellent job to get to the sandbag from the snipe side, but is it enough? 4v3, downs are being traded out on either side. The chaos does erupt. JT Money Shot gets a lovely back A onto Joey Slane. I think that's all she wrote. Yep, Justin down on the host spot. The round will go the way of underdogs. They respond in kind, only losing one player there. And yeah, that was a chaotic round. It has to be said, Jacob. I'm not sure if you saw BB So Deadly. He literally somehow made his way back onto the side of his team to get the revive, running through the sandbags in the middle. You don't see that often, and it somehow not be followed up, but he made it happen.
Yeah, he's been doing a good job of being a good distraction player, while JT's actually been a huge defining force and not only getting damage, but picking up the eliminations as well. He asked somebody to step up. It's the grand finals. What a better place, what a better stage to step up. And you see that third player on the other side grabbing the host spot. That one's going to get matched up. Almost everybody online, but they got to focus the same target. Deadly's finally going to get shut down. He was trying to make a move towards the middle. Junk follows. Now, if they can get the revive, that'll at least give him a shot, but he immediately goes down right after. And I don't think there's going to be a third opportunity there. You almost got to abandon the host spot and stay alive, but he gets headshotted by the pistol. 4v1 here to kind of close up this round. Joey Slane's going to clean that one up. And the inevitable here should happen with JT going down.
Yeah, that it does, Jacob. Well played indeed. Back and forth we go. Online has taken that round. And it continues to be 4 up top for either side. taking a moment to reflect on the strategies from these two teams, it looks like we're sticking with base, Jacob. They have answered. After 3 rounds, we're still playing safe with what we know on both Cog and Locus. BB So Deadly not so successful in operating down that snipe pillar that time around. Let's see. Will this 4th round play any differently?
Smokes are finally beginning to dissipate, and that's when the moves are going to be making. It's the onliners trying to move up towards the mid pillar. They get the first down on the JT Money trying to be the save, but he goes down as well. Deadly gets the slide revive. Craze gets a revive as well. 4 men are now up, but Craze Matt goes down again. Trying to focus on the whole spot. Deadly, he gets down. Nothing's being traded out until Justin finally gets dropped. But this is going to be the chance with eliminations finally getting picked up. They have a 4v2 advantage. They're finally pushing over the top side of the map. Justin falls. Pistol headshotted yet again. As good as they were looking in that last round, they immediately get shut down. And underdogs will not go down without a fight.
Truly so. That was a swift response to a headshot coming out from, I believe, Carnage there with the pistol. Just it looks like they get the leg up. The Cog team like, no, we will hold on strong and get the revives in while we do bring in those kills. It's 2 apiece now between these two teams. Again, question remains, any change in strategy? It doesn't seem like either roster want to change anything up. Just, oh no, perhaps I've spoken too soon. DeluxeHaas will actually go for the frag grenades this time around, as he did in a previous map. The downs actually go in the way of the Cog team as well, so perhaps a big leg up, but the Locusts need to move fast if they are to try and win this round.
Oh, beautiful name by Juke, forcing Resonate into him. The rest of the team cleans it up, puts the first frag, forcing them to just go everywhere. Those were 2 perfectly well-placed frags, but it couldn't have happened without that first initial down. Even though they didn't pick up the kill with that down, that bought them time, that got them space. JT Money Shot, man, he is really showing up and showing out in this map.
That's the second time that I've seen underdogs perform that nade strat excellently, where they've always had the leg up top in a 3v4 situation before the nades are even rotated up in time. I mean, what more do you want to make sure you can win out around than that? The numbers disadvantage at the start. Resonates quickly pulling off the mid pillar in this situation. Of course, 1 round only needed. Jukeslayer will find his head removed from his body, though. 4v3 situation. Resonates, takes the mid pillar for the angle onto host spot. A push comes his way from BB So Deadly, but so much support from his teammates coming through that he barely even needs to turn around. 4v1 now. With Money Shot stuck in the bolt talk. Let's see if he can clutch up here.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that back pillar spot's got to be one of the more harder spots to know when to make the move to save your teammate. Deadly did his darndest to try to push up and alleviate the pressure through mid pillar, but immediately gets shut down. Timing has to be perfect, and it's now 3-3. Yet again, another close map, just like map 1, not like map 2. I don't know who's going to take it here, but I want to see Juke. I want to see Juke step up. You're letting your teammate take the shine. Now it's time for your turn to steal the show back.
3-3 at 1 map apiece here in this grand final.
Oh, flank.
Neck and neck. Smokes thrown either side. Jukeslayer running up straight away here round the back, and they know what's happening. Jukeslayer immediately gets the pistol out, gets the headshot on the Carnage. It's a 3v3 as it stands. Still lasering with that weapon in the back, but I think his teammates are in trouble. Jukeslayer tries to sneak a snipe out there, but the pistol down is immediate from Resonades. That round will certainly go the way of onliners. A much better response in pushing up top into the enemy team. 4-3 the final score there.
Hey, you got to give Juke credit for at least trying to make a play. He tried to do a huge flank down low, but they saw that one from a mile away. Juke stopped to throw the smoke, but it didn't hide anything. They saw him pushing across, and as soon as they did, they immediately beelined it across the map. The early downs, picked up the kills, and by the time Juke saw it in himself to pick up the sniper, it was just too little, too late. He went down, and Crazy soon to follow, and they lost the map. And that's a huge map. That's a deflating map to lose.
Yes, and it was a big change up as well, because I believe I was just literally praising them, the team of onliners, in fact, having to try and deal with the push as well as they did. But even then, in a 4v3 situation, they struggled in the past, but then this time around, they do a much better job, in fact. And it was the flank immediate instead of the frag grenade pickup. And boy, did they do it quickly that time around. They immediately taken down the players in a 4v3 situation. And despite Duke's fast headshot, even that wasn't enough, Jacob, to
Yeah.
try and even out the odds. So fair play to them with their composure there for sure. 2-1 now in favor of that squad of onliners. And once again, the COG team is coming from the back foot, just as they were after map 1.
Yeah, and this is the map that makes it a little scared. As I talked about maps 2, maps 3, maps 5, that's where I see the underdogs kind of excelling. They were close on gridlock. They shut down War Machine and kind of let Clock Tower slip through their hands. Now Mansion, this is where I'm scared because
Mm.
onliners, they know how aggressive, they thrive in chaos, and a Mansion could get very, very chaotic. Four people outside, even if one person goes through the grenades, that smokes, the ability to kind of let loose through the middle of the map, whether if it's the statue or through the hot tub. I think I might be eating my words on the prediction to start the show, and the only way I won't is if somehow some miracle happens and the underdogs show up here on Mansion.
Totally. And going back to a previous point, snipe access isn't there anymore. War
Exactly.
Machine wasn't too pivotal. Was it that weapon? The clutch potential just wasn't really on offer on either side, really, compared to the semifinals that we saw. And so I'm not sure. Are we going to see again, to go back to it, more base strats? Nothing really out of the ordinary. Yes, we saw Duke Slayer go for the nades and the flank there. One time it worked. The opposing team didn't do anything in terms of strategy differences, but it worked. They won that map on Clock Tower, despite the curveballs being thrown at them. And
Mhm.
the question remains now, as we go on to Mansion, as chaotic as it is, can they come back? It's a nervy scenario because Mansion is so fast paced. Strategy becomes less important, and raw skill and kind of just your response in the moment becomes far more weighted in the outcome, in terms of the outcome of the match. So, do they have it? Do they have the potential to take it to a final map? I do wonder.
Yeah, and I'm wondering as well, especially since you kind of look the star player, Juke Slayer is going inside on Mansion. That's where he was playing before. Yes, he played it with shotgun. He played it different with Lancer. Gave out different looks. But do you have that faith in your team to stay alive long enough to at least defend the fight down low towards the boom shot, make sure to get some downs, allow you to really make a difference from that 1v1 spot? And that's where I want to see those four outsides. I want to see Juke make a difference, go outside, get a couple early elims, even if it's a down that leads to power weapons being grabbed or position being taken over. That's what we're going to need out of Juke. If he goes inside and his team is losing and he continues to go inside, then, I really don't know what to say.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jacob. I really do. And I'm curious if Duke Slayer will be able to do much work in the 1v1 itself. Will he, just like
True.
in his fights against Brolic, kind of be an unpredictable player in that he can choose for the flank, he can return and win that 1v there comfortably? Or is it going to be a little bit more difficult for him to be as flexible as he was earlier? I do wonder. Let's see. Resonates Carnage, Justin, and Joey Slane. They are on championship point here today for the tournament, and it could be Mansion that closes the deal with a 3-1 victory. But we have the amazing roster, underdogs, the favorites for the tournament. I would say prediction from us casters at least after the semifinals that we saw. They're currently in the back foot. Can they take it to a grand final map 5? Let's see.
Okay, so we got an aggressive push outside, pushing on over towards the statue. Carnage gets taken out first, though. Next one's getting taken down with a nice down by Juke. Traded. Nobody goes down. Not a single point being given up. Underdogs yet again starting up another map with a lead.
Whew. What a fast round. No downs, no kills, nothing. No revives. 0 points for onliners there to kick things off. Well, that is a statement, if nothing else, from underdogs. Can they keep up this momentum? I'm curious. It's Joey Slane versus Duke Slayer. It had to be, didn't it? The 1v1 inside. Meanwhile, it's Resonates. That'll be headshot first. Duke Slayer leaving that 1v. Rightfully so. Takes the 4v3 advantage into a 4v2 outside, and now leaves that player of Joey Slane on his own with 1 nade left. 4v1. Let's see if he can do something.
Almost a team boom to make it easier. First one's that easy.
Ooh.
Almost
Ooh.
making it look easy. Joey Signs of mental, shines of greatness. The two-piece on the outside. It gets the down. But finally, this shuts down. We were just witnessing greatness right before our very eyes. Joey almost had it, but instead it's a 2-0 lead for the underdogs. This is momentum shifting right before our very eyes.
A B button and a dream at the front door of Mansion. Could that have come through? Oh my goodness me. It was close. It was close. My heart rate was rising rapidly, Jacob. Whew. 2 headshots right to start it, but no, as you said, it's 2-0 nonetheless. Crazomatic headshotted once again here on this map. Boomshot picked up. Full red is General Ram. BB So Deadly is taken down, 3v2. As Money Shot does get a kill on Carnage on his way out of the Boomshot. But that weapon is right in the hands of Resonades, right behind him. Justin and Joey Slane joining him at the front door. Duke Slayer running straight to that sniper. Already there, lancering down on Joey Slane. Pretty weak. That boom shot is all that's needed. Oh no, Money Shot gets the kill on Justin. 1 boom shot left for Resonades. And Duke Slayer has the snipe. Let's see, can another clutch come from him when he has this weapon in his hands.
This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough because now, oh, okay, they finally cut off the other side. The body shot is in. This could be a big win by Juke. He's holding his shot. Resonate goes down. There's Juke. No, he's already pushing up on the other side. I don't think he has any more boom shots. That's the thing. He might have wasted one, but I'm just getting the rounds mixed up. Juke immediately trying to run towards the outside, probably trying to get the call from his teammates. Boom was picked up first before anything else, so it will be the first power weapon back up.
He's raced back to that, of course, the most powerful weapon in Gears UE. But Duke Slayer with the snipe is just so scary. Quickly running away, playing it safe, making sure he doesn't throw this clutch opportunity away. Joey Slane with closer access to that boom shot pickup, of course, and locking down that front door. Rightfully so will Duke Slayer rotate all the way around, not risk going through that. The race is on for the weapon. It is up. Joey Slane is looking for that weapon side, and Duke Slayer can't get there quick enough. And I think we might see another ring around of Rosie in a sec, Jacob, as Duke does get the nades. He's actually holding him there. He doesn't even need to run inside. He does, though, as I say that. Joey tries to throw the boom shot out. 2 minutes left for him to work with. Duke waiting, ready with that sniper. The thing is, Jake, as we have a moment, I don't see why there should have even been a 2v1. It was the biggest split up in a clutch situation that I've ever seen. Seen on this broadcast so far. They were like the other side of Mansion from each other. And yeah, I'm confused as to why they allowed that.
I think it's they're just playing a little bit too quick for their own good. You know, sometimes when, mainly so I don't know how many finals they've been, how many stream matches, having a lot of people from the Gears of War community having their eyes on them, especially prestigious players, prestigious coaches in the chat. And then that tends to do something. When the light is shining, sometimes people get a little shaky, and I'm not saying that was the case here, but those are the situations right there. Those are the mistakes. This should have been a for sure win round for the onliners, but somehow Juke, yet again, is able to turn the tides and possibly turn it into a stalemate.
1 minute left of this round. Joey Slane, 1 boom shot to his name. Duke Slayer aiming that snipe on the right-hand peak at that front door. 45 seconds, 2-0 currently is the lead for the underdogs. Showing the utmost respect for Joey. Running straight back up to the top.
How much time we got left, Deluxe?
30 seconds.
Ooh, okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Shout out Deluxe, observer, producer, comms in the ears, professional Gears of War. That's it, just professional Gears of War. He's not a player. He did, yeah. Deluxe revived me in one of the biggest moments in a caster match. I got it down on the Fallout. I was teabagging him. Fallout ended up
had to get a revive after that.
Someone ended up downing me, and Fallout got up, and then in comes Deluxe out of nowhere, save of the day.
They're always great fun when the casters get together. Of course. 2-0 in the end. The conclusion of that round, of course. A draw from either side. Unsurprising. Based on how it played out, Sniper and Boom on either side of Mansion. 2-0. It's still early days for Mansion, but we know how quick this map does play out. Let's see. Anything different from either side? Doesn't seem so. Base trap for either team. Resonates and Co looking for a potential weapon side, but they'll get a kill instead. Likely on line. Boom shot weapon side comes in from Resonates. He can boom the statue. Doesn't connect, but it doesn't really matter. 3v1. As the dust settles, Duke Slayer is in another clutch situation. Running up. Round to the spawn. Hot on his heels, Resonates with the boom.
They just need to let Resonates be by himself, lock down the exit where Boom would be at, and then slowly but surely close in on the other side as two. Use your numbers. He can't push the boom shot guy because then he's either going to die, go down, or kind of risk it all. On the other side, it's a 2v1. In theory, you shouldn't lose it, but then again, it is Juke Slayer. They're just playing, in my opinion, they're just playing a little too scared, and even though I like how they're playing slow, it's just they're giving him too much respect.
Do you think it might just be a response after how the previous round played out when they had the numbers? You know, maybe, yeah, just a little bit of nervousness there. I wouldn't be surprised, right? Probably, you know, comms being sent out, hey, play the slow, no deaths this time, you know, within the team voice channel. So they get it done, nonetheless, in the end. One round behind now. Are they from Underdogs? Carnage flying through the middle this time with Joey Slane just to his left. BB So Deadly gets one kill. The nade will respond with a kill through that. But a 3v1 quickly becomes the round conclusion. Duke Slayer with the final kill. It's now 3-1. And you know what, Jacob? You know what? We might actually see a final map.
I think
we might actually see it.
At this pace, I think we're gonna, because Juke is just shutting down nades. He's shutting down a whole side of the map and is letting his team kind of play that 3v3, and it's still interrupting the fight over the nades. I think the only real answer is for the onliners to just push through Boom. Don't even worry about grabbing Boom. Grab the elims. Once you use the frags, then you can backtrack for it. But huge fight coming out. Out. Prismatic's there to even the tides, but he's still fighting another fight towards Hot Tub. Meanwhile, Carnage goes down. The trades still continue. Prismatic not feeling brave enough until he gets flanked to the middle, and a huge shift with Deadly taking himself out. It is going to be a 3v1. It's done. It's over, but they still have more work to do.
And it was a great weapon pickup or boom shot pickup there, to be accurate. Outside, I thought when that was picked up, Jacob, I thought that would be it. I thought that's all they needed, but no, the response was so swift from Team Online as that. Very well executed through the middle of the map into the boom shot area. It's going to be a 1v1 inside once more. We do follow the outside fight here. Smoke's thrown out instantly on the boom, but look at this, a little bit of a change actually. The angles come very fast from the nade side. I believe two were sent up there actually for the Locust. Boom shot kill comes through, 3v1 as we see a potential closure of the map. Yep, we do. BB So Deadly with the last kill. And we will absolutely be going to a final map. What a great response it was from Underdogs. Boy, oh boy. It's not over just yet. What a fantastic set of games we've had today.
Everybody playing there almost perfectly. Crazematic, Deadly, into the middle. Hot Tub, they kind of held it and locked it down. JT, multiple rounds. You saw him getting pushed, and he not only was able to get the down, but he was able to get the kill, keep them off of Boom Shot multiple rounds. And then Juke did his thing. Like I said, he locked down the nades. He locked down that side of the map. More often than not, he was even able to throw down the nades to either get an elimination or kind of jumble up the offense that they were trying to mount over on that Boom Shot area.
Totally. And at times, Jacob, of course, and you can speak to this, of course, as a ex-competitive player, it's just Mansion as an individual oftentimes is just crazy. You have to check your flank. You have to look to see if players are about to throw themselves through the smoke towards you. Are you getting crossed from nades, or are you trying to cross them? Should you flank? There's so many momentary decisions you have to make that sometimes even as casters, it's very difficult to tell who's going to come away with this.
Yeah.
The boom shot picked up, but they've just lost a number somewhere, and as a result, it's all on these players to make those quick decisions. And a lot of those rounds were really down to that. Of course, we have to reflect for a moment on the clutch situations that, of course, Duke is put in and played very well on certainly on one round in particular, bringing it down to a 1v, which of course drawn in the end.
Yep, that's a win.
But also, yeah, that's absolutely a win for sure, especially against a potential boom shot that one of the players did have before. But also, we have to reflect on Joey Slane almost getting a fantastic. Almost was a 4v1, right? Am I right in saying that? Or 3v1? It was close.
It was close.
So close.
The 2 kills, the 2-piece for the 3rd down, he just took too much
Mm,
damage, and in the situation he did it was in that small corridor at the front of mansion through that door, but it just shows the capabilities, it shows the potential of these rosters, and we going into this final map, Canals is gonna be one of those maps to where you could run a ton of strats, but if your sniper is hitting shots, it's going to be hard to get away with some of those strats. So on one side,
mm,
I'm going to be looking at, the onliners to try to go down low, play a little bit of the torque bow. That's what we saw them do in the early matches. But the underdogs, they relied heavily on Juke in almost every single matchup so far. Now that their players are performing well, I think that's going to alleviate some of the pressure. You can do some baits for the middle bridge, give it up for free, hoping Juke will hit a snipe, play high side, try to get a snipe there. I think there's just so many different possibilities for both of these teams that I'm excited for this final map.
you and me both, Jacob. Fatal Strike, shout out to Joe in the chat. He's just mentioned a really big piece of intel, actually. These are the two rosters who didn't have a roster change, by the way, are his words. So, really, once again, Jacob, us casters are not surprised. Historically, even throughout the pro circuits, right? It has been the longest running teams that have the most success. Experience really does pay off when it comes to playing with teammates. And I'm pretty sure we can safely say, based on the maps we've seen, the pistol has been as important as the
Yeah.
Nasher. The Lancer has. The power weapons come into it, and how those, play into the strategies that you do utilize. And yes, we've been talking about base strats being utilized perhaps a little bit too often at times in this match. But some of the trick strats, if you will, the nade plays have been pivotal in changing the how the rounds go. So yeah, absolutely, team cohesion is absolutely everything. And yeah, once again, shout out to Joe, who's been scrimming loads on this game, and a very big tidbit for players and fans alike. Right? Absolutely, try and stick out as a team.
With Canals being the final map, I'm just gonna ask the chat, get them involved. Who's gonna win this final map? Because I think it's a little bit closer than I thought it was gonna be initially. As I looked at the maps, as the maps kind of played out, I'm like, okay, we could have a close series on our hands. Barring that War Machine where it was a flat 4-0, a lot of these, even the rounds particularly, going down to the wire, the moments, the one down really costing the whole round, one elim, like you were mentioning, a pistol headshot on some of those clock tower moments. So for Canals, like as I continue to rack my brain, no matter how good Juke has been playing, there are ways to neutralize the sniper from having those early advantages.
Yes, absolutely so. But it is Canals the final map, right? This is the map that has the potential for snipers to absolutely dominate, and for snipers to literally call in the moment,
Yep,
guys, it's last map. Just run away, play it safe, and let me snipe. Just let me snipe, and we'll see what we can do. And you know what? When you have Duke Slayer on your roster, that might not even be a bad shout in this instance,
that's
Jacob.
true.
I
It
mean,
is
he's
true.
he's been incredible with it and consistently good with it, might I add. And so that might actually be a really good strat. Meanwhile, the contrast returns of the power weapon players. Joey Slane and his roster might just go for the torpedo pickup instantly and play slow with that, because Joey Slane had amazing six with that weapon earlier on that really changed the course of battle actually on this very map. So I am curious how either team will play this. Are base strats enough? I'm not sure about that when those two weapons exist on this map.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't talk about, we talked about Juke and his sniper ability. We talked about Joey slaying his presence with the torque bow. But Justin, last time we saw Canals, round one, back-to-back headshots to kind of start it off. They baited out the mid-bridge, so don't be surprised to see that here again. Rocking my favorite character, the Golden Hunter. Every time he turn around, bling, bling, and he's immediately rotating the sniper towards the high side.
Oh my goodness me. What on earth was that headshot from Justin? Against Duke Slayer nonetheless as well. Oh, that will send shivers down your spine. If you're thinking you're coming to the Canals, putting your team on your back with that weapon. My goodness me. 4v2. Carnage finds Deadly. Kim is pushing Justin on the junction. He will get the down, but will he get the kill? His teammate's nowhere near. Lovely movement. Good shots on the resonate. He says no, though. 4v1 situation. Charismatic with the torp bow. Left to see if he can get anything with it.
Yeah, first headshot was nasty, but Charismatic at least has a chance. Taking down the sniper. It's a good go-ahead elimination there, but it is quickly grabbed back on up. Charismatic's a little bit of splash damage, trying to take a little bit more position on that mid-bridge. And this is where it is going to get tricky, because it is still a 3v1. They still have two snipers in hand. And Charismatic is using a lot of his torque bows just to get space, just to get players to look down. And now he's trying to close the distance. It's bare bones, basically. Huge shot. He is now put full red, and with a huge 2v1 advantage, they can now play angles.
No, they can. They know he's in the corner. They'll play very wide right. I'll have an angle over the top wall. Well done indeed. Justin, the only man to die for that team. But boy, oh boy, that headshot was simply unreal. I'm just having a look at chat now, actually, as they catch up with the stream delay. That was just insane, that headshot. He barely got around the pillar, Jacob. Never mind, had enough time to aim it, for goodness sake. What a shot that was. Oh, Joey Slane, his teammate, going for that quick pick on the top. The smokes are really, really good. No snipe shots fired through that cloud. Now let's see if Joey can now be the power weapon player. Change things up.
Oh, this guy. These snipers just going off. Justin in that first round. Juke Slayer here. Even though they do have an advantage, they still trail in the power weapon. Sorry, that scared me just a little bit. The frag gonna connect out of nowhere. You get scared for the torque bow. You forget about the frag. Nice bounce to take down one, and now they have a 4v2 advantage, and they have to close this one out. You can't let this one go to a stalemate because that will be deflating.
Oh my goodness me, Joey with a stick on Charismatic to bring it to a 3v2. What are these power weapon plays, Jacob? Like, this is unreal. You cannot script this. Either player with different weapons are just pulling something out of the bag. Teardropping we haven't really talked about yet, but that is just a beautiful sight on Gears 1 and UE. And these guys are just like new players, and they're just like, yeah, we know this game. Don't worry, guys. We've got teardrops unlocked. We're unlocked. We know where to snipe from. Quick picks of talk, no problem at all. Wow, this is a beautiful set of games we've been seeing today, and this final map has been no exception to that.
This is where I would like to see if they are going to make a move for onliners to make a move now. They have one of their players waiting all the way back on the other side of the map for a new sniper. You do have one of them on the high side, and everybody's kind of split up. So worst comes to worst, you push forward, they fall back, you get position. But I do think, you know, with the torque bow in the hands of Joey on the stairs, Justin on the mid bridge, they're just going to kind of play time. Let their opponents come to them and let their opponents make a mistake.
That's certainly not a bad strategy to me. No, sorry, Joey Slane. Getting a little bit of deja vu, Jacob. Torpo on those water stairs once again. Same very water stairs he pretty much saved around in the previous matchup. Similar 2v3 like this. Two snipers though he is up against.
What does Toby do?
Money shot.
If you're the three,
what does Toby do?
What does Toby do in the 3v2? You're the three.
Well, I'll be honest, I'm not a great sniper, Jacob. So hopefully it is not me who's holding that weapon, but I would love to be sending teardrops right up against P2 and P1 when they do push. That's what I will say, Jacob. Whether I can perform them as excellently as these players is another question entirely.
I like the strategy because, I mean, you kind of do crowd them out. You get them to jump around. Maybe even stay in a position a second or two longer than they would want to for Justin to be able to line up a shot just like this. You can see less than 60 seconds on the clock. Frag grenade going out first. They're trying to get Joey out of the stairs. Space is going to be taken. Second one again. They're focused on just getting Joey out, but Justin connects with a nice shot. That's going to help Joey if he can land it, but it's going to be a trade. Deadly and Joey. He did land the torque bow, but so much damage has been done. Joey just kind of got taken out by his own doing.
There's 40 seconds though, Jacob. If he can somehow get out of here, does it even matter? 1v1 remains thanks to that amazing headshot. It's a 1v1 snipe with 30 seconds to go. And Duke Slayer showing the utmost respect for Justin there, immediately giving up that bridge to sit at the bottom of it.
Yeah, he almost no choice. Everybody's just going to drop down one by one by one. You almost have no choice but to let this go to a stalemate. This was a round, in theory, you should have won. Multiple snipers, you have frags. You kind of let it go to waste. And the biggest thing was Joey getting that torque bow. Even though he did get the kill, it was the fact that he killed himself. But good job for Justin. Good job for the draw overall.
Justin saving the round, you know, that time again. And it's him with the snipe, you know, and Duke Slayer against him at the end there. It's almost a role reversal. You'd expect Duke Slayer to be the one just pushing everything with a snipe and getting those headshots. But no, it's Justin turning up now a second time in this match with his second kill. And yet again, it's an awesome headshot, just as his first was. Let's see. Low side, how will this play out now after these rounds we've seen so far? 1-0 currently in favor of onliners. And here we go. BB So Deadly immediately downed. as the Locust completely collapse on all the players. 4v2, making it a 4v1 immediately like that. The middle bridge fight is over, and the round is concluded. Justin with yet again another headshot. My goodness me, just headshot after headshot, this time with a Nasher. As now, his team is 2-0 up.
Yeah, those are annoying situations that I think Juke has gone through maybe once, twice, 2 rounds in a row, to where it's canals. You go high side, they push middle bridge. You focus middle bridge, they push high side. The timing just wasn't there for Juke to really make an impact in that round. By the time he entered the fight, it was just too little too late. Now we have a 3-man push. Once again, Torquebo Sniper gathering the power weapons is going to be the main focus, and they weren't able to get the frags on the side of the underdogs. So another opportunity for another weapon to go way of onliners.
Joey Slane looking for that teardrop on the middle bridge. Sent. Nothing really connecting, I don't think. Dom still has the frag grenades in his hands. BB so deadly onto the middle bridge. Duke Slayer rotating the snipe down low. Perhaps trying to sneak an angle through the torque bow opening under middle bridge. Now, where are the opportunities coming from? Joey Slane doesn't like what he sees, rotates back. Duke Slayer had the opportunity potentially to find a head as they rotate back, but nothing comes through. Much more calculated round this one, Jacob. No one being taken down despite how deadly both snipers are, despite Joey having the torque bow, and Nade still really a unit, a weapon to utilize to make a play with, but nothing really coming yet.
I don't remember seeing frags get picked up, but I could be wrong.
I'm pretty sure they were picked up. I'm sure I saw BB so deadly pick them up, but I'm not sure if he threw them.
Oof. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. He did throw at least one.
Right.
For sure, one was thrown. Does he have another one is a whole nother question. And those are the moments, like, you know, playing with Prospect, you know, I had 2 frags, you get 1 kill, you know, you expect more, and that's the thing. You have to make every single weapon, every single frag, every sniper torque shot count and matter in games that are this close. This is map 5. You're down 2-0. You cannot throw those away willy-nilly like candy on Halloween.
Certainly. Duke Slayer picking up the fresh frag grenades as they do spawn. And Duke Slayer, of course, has that snipe on middle. The angle can be taken onto, you know, for the water stairs from the edge of middle bridge. He is just staring down at the access to water stairs there. The second snipe picked up for his team. Charismatic watching the low side S. Justin just wall peeking across towards that new sniper pickup. Money shot was the one who picked it, the mantle. Not an ideal choice, of course, of an animation at any point in Gears Esports, especially not now, but he's okay. Nades in hand of Duke Slayer, setting one up for a potential push here.
This is where it's going to be important. Now you have grenades again that matter. Another grenade going out in the water. Another one getting bounced off the top. They're just trying to trap him in the water. Maybe get some damage to get the down, but nothing yet again. 2 more grenades gone to waste, and you see the confidence on the other side. Joey now moving up with the torque bow. 2 snipers looking over the top. This is a position, if you're Joey, that you want to be in. Now the bows are being lobbed towards the top. Call him the Rain Man if he can make one of these connect.
More teardrops. It's good on Duke. It pulls him off cover. The headshot opportunity comes through, but it will not connect. 2v2. Torpo polling. Snipe aiming as well. The COG, they do not care. Carnage will be dropped, and a 4v3 is now remaining. 30 seconds to go, though, Jacob. I mean, you'd be questioning, do you send one to spawn at this point to make sure it's a draw or nothing?
Yeah, I think JT might go to spawn. Resonate's able to take down Deadly. They're moving up on this space. Nobody really has an advantage to just clear out the map here, so this is going to be a draw. There's nothing anybody can do about it, no matter how good you're doing. But I just want to see somebody go for a world star play. It's going to be a draw. Stand on the middle bridge, go snipe for snipe.
You and me both, but not coming through that. The draw once again, and the tension continues to build in this game. So good from either side. Torpo keeps falling to the hands of Joey Slane. The snipe is threatening as ever with Justin now, really showing off how good he is with that weapon. Several players in the chat have been really mentioning the fact that, yes, Joey Slane's good with the torque, but Justin's really good with the snipe, and we're seeing it now on this very grand final last map.
everybody just being a little bit more calculated, a little more decisive in their decisions. Torquebo picked up again, but not into Joey's hands, and this time it is going to go to the underdogs. Justin trying to push up, take control, sees his opponent tracking in his steps. This could be the best chance, especially with flags going out. First one's going to be a dud. Second one not even connect, but Crazymatic goes down. Justin goes for a shot, misses as Deadly connects with a down onto Carnage. Unfortunately, they're not able to clean it up just yet, but Juke Slayer's not done just yet. Another down, a huge flank in towards the mid-bridge. As the dust settles, it's still going to be a 3v2 advantage for the onliners. Too soon. Juke gets one, Juke gets two. Down goes Justin, and a 2v1 will ensue.
Lovely pinch from BB So Deadly there, leaving his 1v on the other side, but Joey Slane is responding. 1v1 remains, and he has the damage against BB So Deadly, who's quickly trying to get back to cover. He's ruthless in his push, though, is Joey Slane. Great movement, but Joey, he says no. The melee button comes out this time again, and successful it is. 6 kills to his name, and it brings his team to 3-0 up now. 4 rounds in a row needed for 4 underdogs, and it's looking tough. It is really looking tough, Jacob. I don't know how at this point, with all the passive play, they'll be thinking this one out. I mean, what do you do? Just play aggressive and hope for the best for 3 rounds or 4 rounds? It's going to be super difficult.
That's really all you can really do at a time like this. You need to be perfect. And Juke in that last 2 straight downs, but gets overzealous, ahead of himself by himself. Went down in the final 2v1, which really costed them. And now you can see everybody jumbling around. Joey trying to pick and choose where to go. Smoke going out. Still trying to drop some teardrops over the top. If not, get some splash damage. Get him to peek up. That way his teammate can try to go for a headshot.
That's it. Unsurprisingly. 4 players on either side still alive and well right now. Both teams playing it slow, but I don't know. I feel like they're playing it just a little bit better, and it's showing the round count, and that's the fact that Joey keeps getting the Torquebo. They haven't had a response to this, Jacob. After 3 rounds and more stalemates on top of that, have the underdogs. The smoke goes out, the smoke screen in Torquebo, in the water, and no kills come through for the COG team to try and respond and counter to that, even though they know it's coming. So, it's been definite room for improvement, I want to argue, for underdogs. Can they see this one out, though, and mount the comeback?
And the thing is, like, they're not answering the Torquebo like you're saying, and they're not utilizing the frags. Got to be able to utilize, though. A lot of the time, we have seen them just kind of throw them out willy-nilly down from the bridge into the water to where, yes, you can get kills. We've seen it before. In this match alone, we've seen it before. But you can't expect it every single time. You need to hold on to those. Create a situation to where you're throwing the flag just to get the guy to jump out, and then you team fire, snipe. There's so many different possibilities that I just think they're just moving a little bit too quick for their own good.
The body check down comes through, though, and the frag grenade's finally utilized by the COG team. BB will finalize that down with a kill from the frags. They go wide down low side now. Have to be careful with the snipe that's going their way. The down comes through. They need a clutch play at this point in time. Do the Locust 4v2 scenario. Crazymatic, great movement, and a kill to boot. 4v1 now. Is this the change of the tide? Resonates for red, getting pinched from either side. Full respect shown from Money Shot, resetting the high side momentarily. That's better, Jacob. That's much better from the COG team. I thought just as that second Torquebo was being weaponized without any smoke or any seemingly surprise presented, I thought, okay, surely they respond there, but no headshots, just the check, but the nade comes through to clear up that kill. That's better. Let's see if they can do that, though, before the first one gets picked up.
My only worry watching this one is it's just one more round. We could see trick straps, we could see so many different things go down as they try to paint it together. See this dop on towards the mid-bridge, a change around yet again, but JT Money goes down towards the high side, smoking out the revive. He's trying to move up to try to be the hero. Torquebo finally reaches the stairs. JT Money gets cleaned up. He's going over the top into the stairs. They get spaced out. He can't help his teammate. This is another down. It goes down. It's still 3-1. They could close it out here. They could close it out now.
That they can. That they can indeed. 4v2, the down onto BB So Deadly. That's it, 4v1. Surely this is going to wrap things up here. Torquebo in hand for Craze. Not going to come through. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be it. What a fantastic tournament it has been. And in fact, it is not the underdogs that will come through and win this tournament outright. In fact, Joey Slane, Mental's younger brother, resonates, Justin, and Carnage. Yes, indeed, it is them who wins this one. $250 prize pool for this amazing tournament. And a pleasure it has been to cast alongside you, Jacob. And what a great final map to finalize things. I think
Yep.
shout out to the team with perhaps a little bit more strategy under their belt, who performed a little bit better, able to get the advantage of the Sorpo.
Yeah, to me that was absolutely perfect because you saw that the early rounds they went up 3-0. They were focusing on the torque bow, and we were talking about it. There was no answer for the torque bow. And while they have a 3-0 lead, they had the confidence to switch up their strategies, no longer focus on the torque bow. And yes, they did slip up. They lost a round, they drew a round out, but they still were able to switch things up, keep their opponents on their toes while maintaining the lead. I thought they were going to go down overall in this series, but I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy to see a team like this rise up against the adversity and take the overall #1 spot.
That's for sure. Of course, Jacob, it was action packed from the start, but it was also a three-man team from the start, wasn't it? We've been shouting out Deluxe this whole event, and it has to be said because he has been the man solely behind the scenes, really putting all this on for all of these players to play today and us casters as well to be involved. So not only a shout out to Chris, but Deluxe, I believe you're there. Do you want to hop on mic for a second?
Yeah, I'm here. I am here. Thank you. Oh man, what an event! Gears UE. You know how much I love classic Gears, the old school Gears One and Gears UE. You know, Gears UE wasn't a full remake of Gears One, of course, but I love both games. And just want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in today. It was a good event. Thank you to PR and Toby who volunteered their time. You know, none of us are making any money off this. We're not getting paid for this. This is all community driven. So thank you for them for showing up and helping me out here and, you know, have me not do everything and be overwhelmed like we have in the past before. Thank you to the donations we got for the prize pool. It was a $250 prize pool. I think that's where it ended at. But, you know, for a free tournament for Gears UE, the game is how old now, and we're still getting people to play and show up. I appreciate that. So thank you to everybody once again, the players. If you're in stream or if you know anybody who wants to be a future sponsor or donator, the plan is to continue doing these. We're going to do another UE one. Hopefully we can get that going and do more stuff like a double limb bracket, bigger prize pool, maybe some bonus content, whatever it may be. So if you know anybody's interested, please just tweet it out. Tell them to DM me. Hit me up on Twitter, on my Twitter, DeluxeHaas or NaturalLawGG. Once again, thank you to casters, players, donators, viewers, all of you. Follow the stream, follow these guys for sure, and we'll you guys can take it out, and I will let you do your thing because you are the best in the business. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Chris. Awesome words there, and yes, it's been an absolute pleasure, truly, Chris. So thank you for the opportunity as well to cast once again this amazing game. And Jacob, honestly, what a fantastic tournament! Truly, action packed from the start. I've always really enjoyed casting this game, and it has not disappointed for this first event in a long time. It truly has been a long time for a Gears esports event in general, right? In many ways.
Yeah, it has.
And so, yeah, Jacob, what do you think of the tournament? I'm sure you've had a blast of a time, but hopefully we get more of these, and hopefully we see more of these players, right?
Yeah, no, I had a blast. Shout out to Deluxe. Asking me, for a while to kind of participate in some of these. I've been busy, but I'm just really, really appreciative to be able to kind of cast a tournament like this because not only did we see a lot of the OGs, the players, and the pros, and the community members that have been passionate for such a long time, years, decades, even. But we're seeing the next generation of these Gears of War players start to emerge, start to shine. We've seen that cycle happen so many times from Team Glory to KCP to so many teams before that as well. And I think no matter if Gears 6 is next month, next year, I think these are the players that we should have our eyes on if people are continuing their career in Gears Esports in the next game. You have to be able to kind of bring in these newer players because they are the next best thing. And we've already seen so many examples through Gears history, and I'm ready to see it again.
So true. Well said, Jacob. And just final words on that topic. I will reiterate because it is the first broadcast in a while where casters have come together. Gear 6 is on the way, folks. For anyone who's has been unsure because there has been a bit of a gap from Gears 5, we've known for a long time that Gear 6 is part of that trilogy, and we know it's coming. It's pretty much set in stone, I think, in the majority of people's minds, though, since all these rumors and whatnot of a potential June announcement for a release date. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Absolutely, it's not. This is not a one and done tournament for sure for competitive gears. We're still very much alive and well, and also Gears Ultimate Edition tournaments. I'm sure there'll be more if at all we can put on it. Or I should say DeluxeHaas, because he has been doing so much work behind the scenes. A big shout out to him again. Yeah, and I'm sure these teams, I'm sure Fatal Strike, Crushmo in the chat there, Crazematic, all these guys will be looking to continue scrimming on UE as Fatal Strike and his Discord has been absolutely popping, so active every day of these teams looking for scrims, and clearly there is a desire for competitive Gears action yet, right up until Gears 6 does release. So guys, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for participating, for the sponsors. Thank you again to Deluxe. Thank you, Jacob, for casting alongside with me today. And yeah, we will see you next time, guys. Do keep a close eye on DeluxeHaas's Twitter and Natural Law GG for the next event. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.
What'd I do?